Getting you ready for game time. Join me, Sal from Behind Your Basketball, as I announce play-by-play. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe, because now we're about to go live. Entering the pregame, we now present Sal from Behind Your Basketball. And what's good, everyone? Welcome in. Glad to have you guys back in the stream, being a part here on the channel. March Madness day number 2, and here we go. Potentially, we might see an upset in this one today, especially how the SEC has been playing in this tournament. It's only been Tennessee, the lone team from the SEC, that's won a game so far. Just crazy what's going on. The SEC is not representing their conference well in this NCAA tournament. Auburn just got upset against Yale around a half an hour ago. And crazy what this tournament has become. Yesterday was Oakland who won over Kentucky. And another 13 seed looking to pull off the upset in this game. That's going to be a shootout. First to 100. Live by the 3, die by the 3. Get ready for some points tonight here, because we got a good game in store. Charleston, the 13 seed in the bracket. Back-to-back champions out of the Colonial Athletic Association, led by head coach Pat Kelsey in his 3rd season. Pat Kelsey's looking for his first ever NCAA tournament victory. He's been playing a couple of games. They played close. They played Villanova close under head coach Jay Wright back in 2021 when he was the head coach at Winthrop. And then last year they took a Final Four team, San Diego State, down to the wire, lost by 6, 63-57 in the first round. This time they get the Alabama Crimson Tide, the #1 offense in the nation this season for Alabama, put it in 91 points per game this season for Alabama. 3rd in the nation in 3-point makes, 4th in the nation in 3-point shooting attempts for Alabama. But for Alabama, they rank 256th in the nation in 356th in the nation in total defense. They are bottom 10 in all of NCAA Division I college basketball in points allowed this season. What's good, everybody? Lucas, Alex, Mario, Bryce, Jeffrey, Verdon. Glad to have you guys back in the stream. Colorado in a game-winning baseline jumper that bounced off the rim multiple times, looking like a reminiscent of the Kawhi shot in Game 7 for Toronto to send them to the NBA Finals over Philadelphia. And that was basically like from the same spot as well. Crazy difficult shot that they were able to make there for Colorado, beating Florida. Colorado is going to move on. Pac-12 still undefeated right now in the bracket for the Pac-12. And Texas A&M looking to reverse the curse for the SEC right now. They're leading Nebraska. Texas A&M 36, Nebraska 31. Nebraska has the Japanese Steph Curry on their team with Tamananga making 3 after 3 after 3. But right now, Texas A&M with a 5-point lead right now, and then Duke leading Vermont by 5, 21-16. And then we'll be tipping off this game shortly. Actually, this game's been pushed back. Holy smokes. This game has been pushed back for a half an hour. So I just got an update here. This game has been pushed back to 8:03 p.m. for tip-off time, Charleston versus Alabama. So yeah, this will be a little bit of time before we do tip off in approximately a half an hour. I just checked that just a moment ago. Quick update here. I released in my community tab the streaming schedule for tomorrow. I have 2 streams planned for tomorrow: Michigan State versus UNC. I think that's later in the afternoon around 5, and then there was one at 8 with there was the second game that I wanted to do at 8 o'clock right there. So it was Michigan State, UNC, one of those games. Oh, yeah, the orange teams, UT, Texas, and Tennessee after that one, the 2 ones that I plan on covering tomorrow. I had softball pushed up to today, so I don't have things tomorrow. I'm going on an open house tomorrow, so that's what I got planned for tomorrow, because this summer I'm hoping to move. And since tomorrow I have the first part of the day, my girlfriend's supposed to visit, so we're going to go on an open house together tomorrow, because we're looking to get something. Hopefully around like June or July, we're going to see if we can like move into like a new place together starting soon. So I'm trying to move out of my family's house very soon, because I'm turning 29 in October for me. If you guys are doing this stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell as well for this one here. And yeah, this is going to be a good game. I feel like whoever scores 100 first is probably going to win this one. Purdue's taking on Grambling. We'll see if Purdue can reverse the curse. They're a massive favorite, 26.5 point favorites. That game's going to tip off at 8 o'clock. So we're just waiting for the start of Alabama versus Charleston in a little bit. This Alabama team, oh my goodness, analytically they are terrible for Alabama. Nate Oates, the head coach, 5th season for the Roll Tide. I feel like they should be a deeper team than what they've been doing for runs recently. 2 Sweet 16s in 2021 and 2023. That 2023 team was the #1 overall seed last year in the tournament for Alabama. They were playing out of their minds going into the tournament for them. They were like the #1 scoring team, but not only were they the #1 scoring team last year like they are this year, they were #1 in rebounding and multiple other categories for them. This season is just basically scoring and 3-point shooting makes for them that they're at the top of the nation for Alabama. But they did get exited in the first round in 2022 for Alabama, the same year that Kentucky lost in the round of 64 against St. Peter's. They lost in the first round in 2022. They made it to 2 Sweet 16s under head coach Nate Oates. And this offense is just, man, they are a machine. They're just scoring machine. #1 in the nation in scoring, but their defense is absolute hot garbage for them. Last 2 victories, Alabama cranking up the points, 103-88 at Ole Miss. They won their last 2 wins, and they beat Arkansas in overtime 92-88 on Senior Day. That's concerning right there, because they beat Arkansas by just 4 in overtime on Senior Day. That's a home game on Senior Day right there, that they beat in overtime to an Arkansas team that played real down this season and struggled a lot. And then the last 2 losses that they had were both against Florida, who got eliminated by Colorado during the last hour. They lost at Florida 105-87, and then lost against Florida in the SEC tournament 102-88. This is an Alabama team that they score a bunch of points. They're #1 in scoring, #3 in 3-point makes, #4 in 3-point shooting attempts. But on the other side, they're atrocious defensively, and they commit the 17th most personal fouls in the nation. They're 356th in the nation in total defense this season. Their interior defense has been just pathetic for them. That's been the main issue, ranking around 240. Hockey from home, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Yep, Celtics taking on Detroit. They should be able to win that game. I expect them to win. Once I wrap up this stream, I expect to see the Celtics be on top when it says final at the end of that one. Oh wow, I didn't hear that. So the Oakland coach said that Louisville fans crashed their team's website, spent over $8,000 in Oakland gear. That's hilarious. What's good, Ryan on the street? Welcome in, Vegas. Welcome on back, man. Yeah, these Mountain West teams are struggling too. Real sad. I had New Mexico going far in my bracket, and they were a downfall today. They couldn't keep it any sort of competitive. They did not make that game competitive against Clemson, which Clemson had a really difficult time their last game against BC. This is just real sad. How this whole tournament's been like selected and stuff. Yeah, this would be phenomenal to see a double overtime game in this today, like double overtime like an NBA final score or so, like 135 to 130 in college in a double overtime game. That would be insane if we get one here. So we still got a while before we're gonna tip off for this one. This is gonna tip off slightly past 8 o'clock. They pushed back the time. It was supposed to tip off at 7:35, but yeah, this has been pushed back way back. So if you guys are new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. And yeah, could have had Providence, Seton Hall, St. John's. St. John's lost to UConn by 5 in the conference tournament. There's 3 more spots. Could have taken place of a Mountain West or SEC team, an SEC team with a losing record in conference play like Mississippi State got in. I mean, that makes no sense right there, what happened. But these are the games that went down today. I was actually out throughout most of the day, so I'm getting caught up right now. I saw some of the scores during my break today, but I was out at Stonehill today announcing softball. Quick update, the guy was telling me that that there was a Bill Belichick sighting yesterday at Stonehill. So Bill Belichick's daughter, Amanda, coaches for Holy Cross. They had a game yesterday at Stonehill for women's lacrosse, and there was a Bill Belichick sighting over there yesterday. And I was a day late. I was with them announcing this afternoon over at that college. They're recently new to D1. They're in year 2 for D1. Yeah, so Purdue got moved too. Yep, so Purdue's going to start off their game similar to this time at the top of the hour around 8 p.m. UConn destroyed Stetson 91-52. Marquette, they were trailing by 7 at halftime against Western Kentucky. No problem in the second half. They blew the doors off Western Kentucky 51-26. Second half box score, Marquette won 87-69. Baylor crushed Colgate 92-67. Someday, Colgate will win against an NCAA tournament team. It's just not going to come up against a Big 12 school. And unfortunately, they've got selected against Texas and Baylor in back-to-back years for them. I mean, the best shot at it. You get put in against an SEC team, and you got an opportunity right there for Colgate in the future. But they always seem to get the wrong side out of the selection committee recently for Colgate. They took Tennessee down to the wire 5 years ago for Colgate, but that's as good of a shot that you're going to get, is probably more so against an SEC or a Big Ten school. They took Wisconsin with Johnny Davis, played a solid 35 minutes 3 years ago in that game. But, yeah, no shot against the Big 12 program in that type of environment. And then the shocker, Yale beat Auburn during the last hour. Insane. The Ivy League back-to-back NCAA tournament first-round wins between Princeton and Yale now. And we'll probably see Harvard next year do the same, or hopefully Brown. That would be incredible if Brown's able to have a redemption type season for them. They were so close to getting it in. Yale snatched that away at the final second, but wow, Yale beats Auburn by 2 today. And that's one thing that was concerning me about Auburn, is that they had played, they're so dominant, winning games by 20, 30 points this season, that they don't have any sort of taste of a close game for them. They don't know how to play in crunch time for Auburn, because they're winning all these games that they're blowing out teams by like 15, 20, 25, 30 points, that they don't know how to play any sort of close game against opponents. And you need those crunch time, clutch time shots, and know who your crunch time, clutch time shot makers are in that scenario. And yep, Yale, coming off that close win over Brown, certainly knew how to play a close game and find a way to win for Yale, and Auburn did not. Once again, free throws crushed Auburn in that one, just like last year. 10 brackets perfect. Wow, that's, man, wild. Bryce, welcome back in. We got Daniel, welcome back to the stream, and Behind the Arc fan, welcome on board. Behind the Arc fan looking pretty solid with that Colorado pick right there. And it was looking good first half for you for Western Kentucky, actually. So half number one going into half, that was looking good, but not so much the final score. Yeah, I'm just so disappointed about New Mexico in this tournament. They were looking like they were red hot going into the tournament, and the wheels fell off today. Clemson 77, New Mexico 56. I mean, that's not even a competitive game. Usually it's one of those on opening night that the team's a no-show in the brackets. On opening night that a lot of people have confidence in, and that was Texas Tech this year. Texas Tech was a no-show last night, losing against NC State. But the big boys keep on delivering. Like, these big boys are built for March. DJ Burns from NC State, Eddie Lampkin Jr. for Colorado. These guys are just, man, they're monsters out there. These dudes, they're built for March. You might not hear their name like during like November or December or January, but their name starts to pop up usually come time February into March, and then they just take over their conference tournaments, and then these dudes just in the NCAA tournament, they take over with those big boys right there. Yeah, wow, what Colorado 102 to 100. We'll probably see a score similar to that here in this one. Now, I'm disappointed with Nebraska, too, right now. Northwestern beat Florida Atlantic in overtime by 12, 77-65. And San Diego State beat UAB. That was closer than I expected. 69-65, San Diego State won. Yeah, I would not be shocked if NC State makes the Final Four, honestly. Nebraska's having a lot of difficulty right now with Texas A&M. 47-37, Texas A&M leads against Nebraska. Texas A&M's like the one last saving grace out of the SEC. Them and Alabama right now are just going to be Tennessee. Yeah, this NC State team, they're heating up. They look like that Oregon State team from 2021 that came out of nowhere. Like a back-end seed in their conference tournament, just gets hot at the right time. They got a lot of tough dudes on that team. Like, they must be going through some, like, severe pain playing 6 games in, like, playing 6 games in basically, like, 11 days for those guys. Yeah, that's a huge upset. Sport Travel coaster to stream. So, Auburn and Kentucky both falling. Just major upsets. A Division II transfer with Jack Golke drilling 10 threes last night against NBA lottery picks. Just absolutely wild. And yeah, that head coach has been there for 40 years. That's dedication. So I mistakenly said since 1999 last night. I think they transitioned in 1999 because when I went over the stats reference, they listed the head coach's name, but only until 1999. So Oakland's must have been in transition from like D2 to D1 back in the late 90s. Yeah, Greg Kampe, 40 years as the head coach. He should be considered for the Michigan position for him. Okay, so they were Division II in the 90s for them. They made it to the Sweet 16 of Division II in 1994. So this is the deepest NCAA tournament run that they've had since 1997 for Oakland, when they were a Division II program for them. So they played out of the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference back in the 90s for them. Wow, that's insane. He only attempted 8. That's crazy. 8 2-point shots all year. Wow. Duke's looking good right now. 28-18 Duke against Vermont. And wow, Texas A&M is taking it to Nebraska, 50-39. Texas A&M. So Greg Campy, the head coach for Oakland, he's been the head coach since 1984. I mean, that's some dedication right there. You never hear about head coaches coaching at like mid-major teams for like 40 years, like 4 decades. That's incredible that he stuck it out for so long. So deserving for that man there. 13-19 last year. What a turnaround too. You go 13-19 and then you upset Kentucky in the first round a year later. I mean, what a turnaround. Yeah, I heard about Garway Duwal. He's either going to go to the draft or transfer for Duwal. Yeah, so they were Division II all the way to the late 90s. Alabama's pulling the points right now by 8.5 on the spread. The over-under's got 172.5 for this over-under. That's crazy. This might honestly be like the final score, like 100-96 or something in this game. Like, there's going to be buckets after buckets after buckets, I feel like. Yeah, I was debating on taking Texas for that. I took Tennessee because Texas has had some inconsistencies this season. I was also turned away when I saw Texas in the non-conference slates. I saw that they beat Louisville by 1 for them, so I was really strongly considering Texas for them. Wouldn't shock me if they do beat Tennessee tomorrow, honestly, because they do have more of like a scoring balance between Max Asmus, Tyrese Hunter, and then Dylan Dessou. If all 3 of those guys get going and provide scoring in bunches, then they have a good chance. Whereas Dalton Connect, he's been legendary this year for Tennessee. I mean, he's been massive scoring, but those guys have gone on some scoring droughts this year. That's the only concern for Tennessee there, but they got dogs all over the floor defensively, and they're like probably going to be the last saving grace for the SEC. Maybe Texas A&M. We'll see. Texas A&M's destroying Nebraska right now, 56-40, with 2 minutes left to go before halftime. Texas A&M putting up 56 points in the first half. Like, this is unheard of right now. Really unheard of. Wow. This Texas A&M team could be a real big threat to Houston in the tournament. Like Stephen A's bracket, if Texas A&M beats Houston, his bracket could look real good for his Final Four. He put Texas A&M as a 9 seed for Stephen A in the Final Four. Duke's leading Vermont 28-23. Vermont just buried a 3. They're right in the game. And Duke just took a timeout. Kyle Filipowski couldn't finish on this easy shot at the rim. Grambling and Purdue is going to tip off in around 8 minutes. This game's going to tip off, I think, around 10. So we got like 10 minutes before tip-off. Thanks all for patiently waiting. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. 2 streams tomorrow I plan on covering. It will be Michigan State versus North Carolina. That one is slightly past 5 p.m. tomorrow. And then I think there's one around the 8 p.m. hour between Texas and Tennessee for tomorrow. Yeah, that's too bad for Reed Shepherd. I mean, I feel for that kid right there. Just so much pressure because his father won a national championship, and just looks like the lights were just too bright for those guys last night. Yeah, Colorado won it right before the buzzer against Florida, and insane shot that they had. Pringle, welcome on the stream. Sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, I took Auburn to the Sweet 16 for my bracket. I was debating whether I should put them into the Final Four national championship, but they're playing a home game at UConn, and that was the deciding factor for me. And I'm like, no, gotta take UConn as deep as possible in this tournament. And was I right for that? Yep. Man, just crazy. The SEC. Oh man. I mean, the Ivy Leagues, they do it once again. Back-to-back years. Princeton, Yale, and get ready for the next one next year. Harvard, Brown, Columbia, whoever it's going to be, Penn. These Ivy League schools have always played teams close, too. Princeton, I think it was back in the early 2010s, they played Kentucky real close in one of those games. And Kentucky, they have players, I think that was on that team that currently play in the NBA right now, from that team that when Princeton took them down to the wire. This is disappointing by Nebraska, 58-42, with 5 seconds left before half. Extremely disappointing for Nebraska. I am interested to see how James Madison comes out tonight against Wisconsin. I think that right there could be a very good upset potential pick. With like a non-SEC school that gets upset, because all these other upsets just haven't happened. My bracket was straight up garbage yesterday in a late night time slate. I think I finished with the worst amount of bracket wins as of yesterday. I got half of the picks correct, 8 out of the 16 from yesterday. I went 0-4 in the late game slate in the 9 o'clock window. I took Drake against Washington State. Drake blew an 8-point lead with 5 minutes left to go, lost that game. I had Samford winning against Kansas. Samford got bailed out by the officials, and Kansas was able to win that game because it was, I guess, not a block, even though it clearly looked like a block right there. That Samford got that just completely changed the game. So Samford and Drake really wrecked my brackets, and then there was, I think, 2 others from that window or so that didn't go down my way. The last one that I had last night was Tennessee. I didn't get any of the others afterwards after that. And usually I'm like getting a lot of those games, but no, that's not been the case. Hey, what's good, Kokubo? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining in. Oh, Texas Tech. Yeah, they were a no-show last night for Texas Tech. That was sad. 29-23. Yeah, so I took notes last year on what worked for the bracket. What worked for the bracket last year was the deepest teams kept on advancing. If you look at the top 10 in bench points this year, all those teams have been eliminated. Kentucky, Samford, Auburn, and BYU. Those are 4 of the NCAA tournament teams and bench points in the top 10, and all those teams have been eliminated. Last year, wow. Vermont with a circus shot to draw within 4 against Duke. I get a quad view that I'm watching over on YouTube TV right now, so I get the Texas A&M game that's at halftime, Nebraska versus Nebraska. 58 points, by the way, for Texas A&M, 58-44 at halftime for A&M, but Vermont, Duke on the other corner of the screen, holy smokes. Vermont's uniforms stick out so much, yellow and dark green. For them, Vermont's in this game right now. Duke's struggling with physicality. That's what I thought they would. And this is kind of unheard of, like a Vermont team that's more physical than a Duke type of team right now. Is Vermont down by 4, 2:10 left to go. Vermont's really efficient. Last year they played a strong game against Arkansas. Lost that game. Arkansas had a couple NBA players in that game. Right to the rim. Vermont scores up and then off the glass. It's a 2-point game. Wow. 29-27. Duke by just 2. They get some solid players over at Vermont. Like, these guys are always constant NCAA tournaments, on a consistent basis. It's just like, the question is, can they get over the hump and win a game? It hasn't happened in a long time. It's been memorable when they're drilling threes, though, because you can win games at the DCU Center when Sorrentine hits it from the parking lot. And That was one of my first memories of March Madness back in the early 2000s against Syracuse. That's a big three Duke just made. Yeah, that's why. The first four teams, yep. So behind the arc fan looking like he's going to potentially get Colorado if they win their next round. Hey, there we go. Hopefully the Red Sox able to start the season out well. They take on the Pirates. Usually the Pirates are like one of the more easier teams. Yeah, the team that they lost to against Arkansas that was what, 2 or 3 years ago. That team was a 12 seed. This team's a 13 seed. Last year they were a 15. So, I mean, they're better than what they were last year. But the better team, I feel like, was that team that had like a bunch of seniors on it that lost against Arkansas. They had a tough draw in that bracket, though. That Arkansas team had Moses Moody, a lot of super athletic dudes that were flying all over the place on that team. That was the Arkansas team that eliminated Chet Holmgren and Gonzaga in the tournament. Grambling and Purdue about to start. And then we'll get to Charleston, Alabama here in just a moment. Thanks all for waiting in, patiently being a part in the stream. George, welcome in, taking Bama in this one. Jake, welcome back to the stream. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win this one tonight here, Charleston or Alabama. Alabama as an 8.5-point favorite on the line. Number 1 in the nation in scoring, averaging 90.8 points per game. They're 3rd in the nation in three-point makes, 4th in three-point attempts, but bottom 8 in the nation in points allowed. They allow 81 points per game to opponents this season. Charleston is top 35 in scoring, 80.5 points per game put up by Charleston. They allow the 200th most points in the nation at 72.5. Live by the three, die by the three for both of these teams. Charleston averages 10.5 three-point makes per game, 8th in the nation, averaging over 30 three-point attempts per game, number 3. But they don't shoot the ball efficiently. They're 160th in the nation in three-point shooting percentage for Charleston. They also have no wins against the NCAA tournament field right now for Charleston for them. This would be a major upset. They lost at FAU by a lot, 90-74. Lost against Duquesne almost by a similar score, 90-72, and then lost against Vermont, which is hanging in with Duke right now, 73-64. So 3 teams in the tournament field they lost against, being FAU, Duquesne, and Vermont. But looking to see if they can get their first ever victory here for Charleston in the tournament. They won 12 straight for them. Our first victory under head coach Pat Kelsey. Here we go, about to start. So this game's about to tip off. If you guys are doing the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well, and get ready for a lights out, first to 100 shooting explosion type of matchup right here. Alabama 58% from 2-point range this season, 36.5% from 3-point range. The Crimson Tide led by top 15 scorer in the nation, Mark Sears in the backcourt, 21.1 points per game this season for Sears. Gonna start in just a brief moment. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe as well. Charleston, 53% of their shots are made from 2-point range. They're 34.5% from 3 for this season. And that's what they're going to have to go to, is the 2-point shots, because Alabama has a lot of issues, especially with their interior defense with Grant Nelson. It's going to have to be more 2s instead of 3s in this game for Charleston to pull off the upset. Charleston going to go with the black jerseys for this matchup, maroon numbers, maroon letters with the gold outline, the college out on the front in cursive for the COFC, the College of Charleston. Rain Smith, Kobe Rogers, Frankie Policelli, Ante Brzovich, Ben Burnham, the starting five for Charleston, going up against Mark Sears, Rylan Griffin, Latrell Wrightsell Jr., Aaron Estrada, Grant Nelson, the starting five for Alabama. Number 4 versus number 13. Already saw one of those go down today. Alabama's rival. The Iron Bowl rival Auburn lost to Yale. Charleston looking for their first ever victory in the NCAA tournament under head coach Pat Kelsey. Kelsey led a terrific Winthrop team with a great record to the NCAA tournament in 2021. Lost against Jay Wright and Villanova in the first round by 10. They went last year to the bracket as well. Lost by 6 against San Diego State, which was a Final Four team last season. Live by the 3, die by the 3. Get ready for points tonight. White jerseys with the red numbers, red letters for the Roll Tide for this matchup. Hit us up in the chat who guys like to win this one, Alabama or Charleston. This is going to be a fun game right here. The points are going to be coming off the board left and right. Here we go, about to get mid-court here for the opening tip. Alabama will go left to right on the floor. Charleston will go right to left. As we are underway, and Charleston controls the opening tip. Cougars with their first possession right now. As we are underway, Alabama versus Charleston. Tennessee is the lone SEC team that's won. Texas A&M looking to make it 2. Tonight, Alabama looking to make it 3. That's available only in the SEC. Charleston down low off the spin move underneath. No good. Offensive rebound as they go off the dump off. No good off the glass. Tip in. Good for 2 for Charleston to go on the board first. First possession now for Alabama. Alabama cannot come up with a defensive rebound to save their lives. Open 3. Off the back rim, no good. Missed by Alabama. Rebound controlled by Charleston. Brick City to start things off. Here goes Charleston up the floor. Ante Brzovich passes to his teammate right down to the ring. Finger roll. It's good for the layup made by Brzovich. Right back to him. 4-zip for Charleston right now. Alabama with a possession. Wrightsell dribbles towards his left, hand off Sears, drive, kick out to the corner, Griffin. Griffin at the right wing, off to Sears, baseline dribble, Sears, skies up, underneath, he scores, up and through, good for 2. Walking bucket for Mark Sears, top 15 in the nation, averaging 21 points per game this season. Charleston with a possession. Hand off. Policelli floats up the runner, connects on it. I got Alabama in this one in my bracket. Honestly, based on how the SEC has been playing, wouldn't shock me if Charleston wins this game, though. Drive, kick, baseline dribble underneath, and the shot got blocked from behind as Alabama missed the shot there as Rylan Griffin got it blocked from behind. Charleston up by 4 right now, looking to add to it. Charleston at the top of the free throw circle. Slowing down the tempo right now into the hands of Kobe Rogers. Rogers dribbles up at the elbow. Swings to that left quarter. Up fake. Left baseline dribble for Charleston. Wraparound opportunity. No good. Deflected back to the perimeter. Sears collects the defensive rebound. Mark Sears gallops up the floor. Sears inside the paint. Dish out on top. Up fake here at the wing. Dribbles up the runner. Wrightsell drills the 2. 2-point game. Latrell Wrightsell for the Roll Tide. Charleston with the ball. Kobe Rogers sends it out to the left wing perimeter. Ante Brzovich. He's from Croatia. Top of the key. Kobe Rogers back outside. Goes out to the top. Here's a 3. Rain Smith. No good. Around the rim and out. Tipped up to Alabama for the defensive board. Basil, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining in. Transition 3. Swoosh. Latrell Wrightsell heating up right now for the Roll Tide. They're going to give him a 2. His foot was on the 3-point line on transition. 6-6 now to score. Rogers moves it out on top. Open 3. Charleston came off the rim short. Rebound controlled by Wrightsell. Wrightsell is completely taking over this game right now. Sears has it at the March Madness logo. Sears crossover outside Wrightsell. Wrightsell from the parking lot. Off the mark, no good. Rebound controlled by Charleston. Get up as many shots as possible. This is how this game has gone in the first 3 minutes of action so far. Charleston with a ball. Wide open 3. No good. Missed off the mark there by Ben Burnham. Offensive rebound controlled by Charleston. Off the pro hop down low. They score. Up and in off the glass by Policelli. 8-6 here for the Cougars. Alabama with the ball. Top of the key. Estrada sends it over. Off the drive by Rylan Griffin. Griffin going downhill to the cup there. Going up, gets fouled. And Rylan Griffin will shoot 2 at the free throw line. We're just getting started tonight. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and ring that notification bell if you'd like to be notified for future live streams as well. Yeah, they had a really good look from 3. They haven't been able to convert from 3, though. He was wide open at the top, but they couldn't make one. Charleston right now is 0 for 3 from 3. 4 for 10 from the floor there. 4 for 7 inside the interior, and that's what you're going to have to do against Alabama. Alabama's interior defense is terrible. They're going to have to go there today, even though Charleston loves to shoot the threes. Alabama 1 for 2 from 3, 3 for 6 in the interior. First free throw is good by Rylan Griffin. Second one right down the middle. Tie game here at 8. Charleston gets the inbound to the backcourt as they cross the midcourt line here for the Cougars. Left wing perimeter, Ben Burnham sends it on top. Pulicelli back to Burnham, top of the key. Bounce pass here with Bryce Butler, number 4, first time on the floor. Butler inside the key. Butler underneath off the pivot. Put it up off the glass. No good. Out of the pack. Here comes Estrada with a defensive rebound. Pushes tempo. Look at the take it coast to coast. And no good. Off the glass. Too strong. Missed the mark by Estrada. Back it goes to Charleston. 16 minutes left to go in the first here. Charleston has it with Fulton. Handoff as they'll dribble back out to the perimeter with Pulicelli. Top of the key. Burnham. Burnham off the up fake. Hands it over. 12 the shot clock here for Charleston. Outside it goes over to Khalil London, number 3. London outside finds Butler. Butler down to 7 on the shot clock. Butler floats up a tough shot. Bakes it off the glass. He scores. Up and it off the backboard. Right there with a right-handed hook inside the low post. 10-8 Charleston. Will, welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. Estrada. Lob over the top. Able to get his teammate involved behind the defense. Nick Pringle scores his first basket tonight. 10 even right now. Charleston with the ball. Both of these teams pushing it up against the floor against one another. That's exactly what I expected in this game. Butler dribbles around the wing, turns the corner, drives right to the rim, and he scores up and in off the glass. Good for 2. 12-10. Basket after basket down low. No interior defense whatsoever in this game. Charleston 6 for 12. Alabama 4 for 9 right now. Outside it goes over to Estrada. Estrada dribbles up, spin move inside the key. Estrada with the left hand comes out well short. And we will have on the floor here, with a foul committed on the court, coming up off the battle for the rebound. So we're going to take the first time out on the floor. That's on Nick Pringle, loose ball foul. So Charleston cleanly altered that shot, came up with the ball, and Nick Pringle committed a loose ball foul. So we take the first time out on the floor right now. 14:45 left to go in the first as we take the first time out. Wow, we had a lot of basketball action going on without a single clock stoppage right there. So we're well below the 16-minute media timeout mark, and we get our first timeout tonight. Charleston 6 for 13 right now. They've yet to make a 3, but they're 6 for 10 shooting from 2. And this Alabama defense is atrocious inside the interior, and they're doing a good job getting to the rim. For Charleston, Alabama's 4 for 9 right now. Alabama's only attempted 1 3. They missed that 3. They had a deep 2 go down. Jenna, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Hit us up in the chat. Who you guys like tonight for this one here? Type it in. Roll Tide for Alabama. Type in Charleston. If you're going for the Cougars for this matchup, COFC. If you enjoy this stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Ring that notification bell as well. I cover basketball action, play-by-play in the channel, college hoops, NBA streams here. This is my one and only stream for today. I covered 3 games yesterday. I'll be back tomorrow covering 2 games with Michigan State versus North Carolina and then Tennessee versus Texas tomorrow. Will, welcome in, taking Alabama for this one. Texas A&M up at the half over Nebraska 58-44. Duke leads at the half over Vermont 34-29. And Purdue up over Grambling 14-8. So we got 4 games at the same time right now. Already 1-13 has lost to a 4 today, and that was Alabama's rival Auburn. losing to Yale. Charleston looking for another big-time upset in the bracket. Tennessee is the only SEC school that's won right now. All the other SEC schools have lost. Texas A&M looking good currently, and right now, to the first time out, Alabama's down by 2. This is going to be a fun one. Going to be some serious points coming off the board. All right, quick adjustment. So Alabama did make a 3. They upped their point total, so it's 12-11. Yeah, there was a deep jumper in transition, and it was rolled. Both feet were behind the 3-point line. Yeah, it was on a 3 by right cell. So they're going to say his right foot was not on the 3-point line. They initially rolled it a 2, and now they've upped it to a 3. So they checked that during the timeout. They have upped Latrell Wrightcell's points. That was a while ago. That was like in the 17th minute of this game, and now we're down to 14-45. So we get back to action. 12-11. Charleston up by 1 and win the possession. Left wing perimeter for Charleston, dribbling up with Fulton, moves it outside. They'll take a 3. Pulicelli bricked off the back rim. Offensive rebound pulled down by Charleston, though. Charleston has it off the dribble drive inside. They flick it over to Pulicelli. Open 3, catch and fire, swoosh! Frankie Pulicelli delivers on the 3. Charleston ups the lead to 4. Joe, welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. Yeah, Kentucky lost last night against Oakland, and then Auburn lost against Yale. Those have been the 2 big upsets of the bracket here. Mark Sears, a walking bucket, slices the defense, but Charleston commits the reach-and foul. Yeah, this looks like it could very well go into overtime for this one. Tatiana, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. 14 minutes left to go before half. Inbound for Alabama. Top of the key. Grant Nelson sends it over to Nick Pringle. Pringle dribbles towards his left. Handoff Sears. Sears. 12 the shot clock. Sears at the right wing. Sends it out right corner. Rylan Griffin sidestep to his left. Takes the 3. Missed off the mark. Tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Alabama. It was Nick Pringle who tried to tap it out. Nobody was at the wing. And Charleston with a 4-point lead will get the basketball. 15-11, Charleston with the ball. Pat Kelsey looking for his first ever NCAA tournament victory as a head coach. So close the previous 2 times. Lost by 10 to Jay Wright and Villanova while he was coaching at Winthrop in 2021. Lost last year against Final Four San Diego State at Charleston in the first tournament appearance for Charleston under Pat Kelsey. I'll fake it a corner. Charleston dribbles all around. They send it out to the top. 12 of the shot clock here for Charleston. As they move it around the perimeter, looking to slow down the clock right here and make sure that Alabama's not attempting many shots. Charleston at the elbow, floats to the runner. Open up the bank right there. They got it. Bryce Butler, floater for 2. Cha-ching. 17-11, Charleston. And Sears attacking inside the paint as we got Pulicelli who picks up a foul. They know how to just get a mismatch down low because they know how atrocious this Alabama interior defense is. This will be 2 free throws coming up at the line for Mark Sears. If you're Alabama, you need Mark Sears to take over this game. This dude is just a walking bucket this season for him. First free throw is good. Sears now gets up to 3 total points. It's Wrightcell who leads the way. He's got 5 for Wrightcell. Wrightcell is looking solid early on for him. Right now, he's currently on the bench. Second free throw is good by Sears. 4-point game. Pulicelli picked up his second personal foul, though, for Charleston. Charleston crosses the midcourt logo. Handoff at the left wing perimeter, goes on to the top of the key. Bounce pass off a backdoor cutter. That was a nice try, but even better defensive play, shockingly, for Alabama. Lob in transition. Oh, they gave it away. That's a big U right there for Alabama. A turnover. Out to the races for Charleston. Dump off down low. Right to the rim. They score. Up and it off the backboard. Turnover leads to 2 points for the Cougars. 19-13. Careless with the basketball. Oh, they do it again. It's another turnover. Big U for Alabama if it stands, but late whistle by the officials here on the floor. Off the pick and roll, number 23 went down for Alabama with Nick Pringle. I think they're going to say loose ball turnover committed. Charge to Charleston on a loose ball foul. I believe that's what it's going to be on the floor right there. That looked clearly like an Alabama turnover, though. Charleston committed the reach, and yeah, it's going to be Alabama inbound. So Alabama lucky about that call. Inbound Sears, and it's a turnover by Alabama, an illegal screen set up by the Roll Tide. Turnover by Alabama, their second personal foul. That is charged to Pringle. Sears getting the handoff, and then Pringle, boom, just contacts Rain Smith trying to get around that screen right there. So Charleston by 6, and we'll have the basketball. And things starting to unravel right now with the SEC, as the referees will have to look at this on the floor too to see if there's anything flagrant about this right now with Nick Pringle. Nick Pringle setting an illegal screen. Rain Smith of Charleston tried to get around that screen, and there was some heavy contact to the face area there. So the referees are looking at this right now at the monitor, and we will have a timeout taken on the floor. 12:28 left to go as we go on a media break right now. Charleston has a 6-point lead. Wow. The overrated SEC. Texas A&M leading Nebraska 59-44. Leave it up to 14-loss Texas A&M to be a saving hope alongside Tennessee for the SEC. That's just crazy. Charleston's got some great balance right now. They have 5 different scores. Bryce Butler off the bench has 8 points currently. He leads the way. He's the game leader right now. So he's got 8 and then 5 points by Policelli. Here's the thing about Alabama is all these stupid fouls this season that they've committed. They commit the 17th most personal fouls in the nation out of any team for them. It's just all these just bad, undisciplined fouls that they commit. I've never seen teams like this high seeded before to have this horrific of a type of defense. Like Kentucky, Alabama, Florida, like those defenses were so bad this year. Like statistically, like before it was Ohio State. They had back in 2021 when they were the 2 seed, got eliminated by Oral Roberts. Ohio State's defense was in the 200s, but both Kentucky and Alabama were well into the 300s this year in points allowed this season. And a lot of these teams played against teams that all they kept on doing was pushing the pace in the SEC. And when you get into the NCAA tournament, other conferences love to slow down the pace, love to slow down the clock, and make sure you're attempting fewer shots. And that's why these SEC teams keep on getting out so early, is that if you're missing the initial shot and you want to keep on pushing the pace, well, your opponent's just going to keep on slowing it down, using as much of the shot clock as possible to get a real high percentage shot and make that shot. And then they're going to force you to speed up your possession, go early on to the shot clock like you like to, and then miss the shot, and then they'll get it, and then they'll go another 25, 28 seconds into the shot clock and make another shot. Joanne, welcome back in. Yeah, what an upset right there with Yale. So wouldn't that be something if we see Yale versus UConn in the Sweet 16? Six-point lead right now for Charleston with 12:28 left to go in the first. Alabama's defense in the last 6 games is allowing opponents to 97 points per game. That is unheard of. Oh, that is so bad. That is so bad. I'll check that when I have a chance there, Joe. We get back to action right now. 12.5 left to go in the first. Charleston with the ball up by 6. They fling it out to the wing. Charleston, by the way, is yet to make a 3 so far, but it's been all the 2s. Just keep on feeding them the 2s against this Alabama interior defense. Charleston 8 on the shot clock. C.J. Fulton sends it out to the right wing. They dribble down inside the low post here. Kobe Rogers at the mid-block. Spin move. Rogers underneath. That's a travel. Too many steps there. So turnover committed by Charleston. It will go back to Alabama. Yeah, A&M shocking because they're just not efficient for A&M that they're up that big against Nebraska right now, holding on to a double-digit lead. 3 turnovers by Alabama, 2 by Charleston at the moment. Alabama with a possession. Estrada sends it out to the wing. Sears with a 3. He's got one. Mark Sears sizzles down the triple. 3-point game. 7 by Sears currently. Charleston with the ball. Rogers at the left wing. Sends it on top over to Fulton. Fulton. 15 on the shot clock. Outside it goes to Rain Smith. A deep range 3. No good. Battle for the rebound. Offensive rebound, but Charleston lost it as Alabama collects the steal. Estrada up the floor here. 3-on-2, and we get a foul committed on the shooting motion as this will be 2 shots here at the line for Mohamed Diabate for Alabama. So we got Indiana State against Minnesota. Sure, I'll take a look and see what the over-under is for that. Free throws here at the line. First one is no good. Missed by Diabate at the free throw line for Alabama. Yeah, Texas A&M's looking really good right now. 67-52 over Nebraska. Second shot, and no good. They go empty that trip for Alabama, missing both of the free throws. Charleston collects the rebound. Pass deflected out of bounds down the near side, last touch for Alabama. Indiana State's a 7.5-point favorite against Minnesota. So Indiana State's at home at 29-6. Minnesota's 19-14. And the over-under, Joe, is 161.5. Alabama collects the steal. They go off the inbound, throwing it down with a two-handed flush by Diabate. 1-point game now. Charleston off the step back jumper, 15-footer off the back rim, no good. Tipped up. Alabama secures the defensive rebounds. Alabama looking to take the lead this possession as they have it inside the key with a left hand. Sears gets knocked down and fouled. So Mark Sears is going to shoot 2 here at the free throw line coming up. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell if you'd like to be notified for future live streams I cover on the channel. I cover basketball action, play-by-play, both college hoops and NBA. 2 free throws coming up here for Alabama with Mark Sears. First one is good. 19 even. Mark Sears up to 8 total points now. He's perfect, by the way, at the free throw line, 3 for 3. Second shot by Sears, right down the middle. Sears is a transfer from Ohio for the Roll Tide. Walking bucket this season. Purdue. Actually, that's a pretty close game against Grambling, considering 8 minutes left to go in the first. Purdue leads by 7, 26-19. And Charleston inside the key, getting sloppy with the basketball, just turned it over. Travel violation right there, committed by Charleston. So Alabama up by 1 with the basketball. Blue-collar basketball for Alabama, looking to get back to their roots here, what was working for them earlier on this season. He played one of the toughest schedules in America in the non-conference league. Baseline dribble by Mohamed Diabate. Diabate got fouled, trying to dribble the tightrope there down the baseline. And Charleston, with their foul issues, have been racking up 6 personal foul right now for Charleston in this game. That's not going to be on the shot, so this will be an Alabama inbound. That's Burnham's second. So 6 fouls committed by Charleston, just 2 by Alabama, and a jumper is good. Pinwheels around. That's a 3 made by the Roll Tide. 23-19 right now as Alabama is surging. Charleston needs to find an answer. They haven't been able to hit a shot from 3 in this game. Charleston going to go inside the interior, missed off the back rim, no good. Alabama secures the defensive rebound. Here goes the Roll Tide, looking to push it. 10-zip run, last 2 minutes. 3-point shot straight away. Came off the rim, short, no good by Estrada. Rebound, pull down for Charleston. At the wing here with Fulton. Fulton gives it up. Charleston able to keep alive the possession, though, with Ante Brzovic. Kobe Rogers at the left wing. Bounce pass behind his back. Teammate wasn't anticipating it, but able to get it. Brzovic slides it out to the wing. Turnaround inside the key. A right-handed baby hook. It goes down for 2 for Charleston. 2-point game right now. Alabama has it at the elbow. Dribbles back out to the perimeter. Hand off to Sears. Baseline dribble. A nice dump off down low. Couldn't finish at the rim, but he's fouled. It's going to be Mohamed Wage at the free throw line, shooting 2 for the Roll Tide. And Charleston in deep foul trouble now. That's number 7. I would think that Alabama would be the one in deep foul trouble in this game, considering they're top 20 in the nation in most fouls committed per game. But no, it's actually Charleston right now that's been having all the foul issues. So Alabama by 2. Alabama will shoot free throws. Duke, by the way, is only up by 3 against Vermont. 36-33 with 16.5 left. First free throw is good. Seems like there's just totally something missing about this Duke team this season. Alabama going to have a second free throw coming up here. Free throw number 2 is right down the middle. 25-21. 9:09 left to go. Substitution as Rain Smith comes back onto the floor for Charleston. Charleston just 1 for 7 right now in this game from 3-point range. Policelli with 2 fouls. Same as Smith and Burnham. They get a couple of guys in some deep foul trouble right now. Charleston with a possession. Left wing perimeter into the hands to Khalil London at number 3. London slides in on top. 10 on the shot clock here for Charleston. Outside, they'll take a deep range 3. Swoosh! Wow. Frankie Policelli, a 30-foot pull-up J right there to pull with it 1. Policelli out on the floor with 2 personal fouls right now in this first half, giving his team a spark as Mark Sears takes it down low off the dribble jive penetration, scores the layup. Charleston with the ball at the right wing perimeter. Jab step at the right corner, working on number 3, Rylan Griffin. At the elbow, Policelli sends it back out, dish out to Policelli. Policelli sidestep to his left pass. Griffin, no good as he took the 3. Got knocked down and no call by the referees here as we get a little bit of a scrum right now on the floor. One of the players headed right into the bench seats as we have to stop time here currently. A Charleston player flying right into the Alabama bench. Let's see what happened. Butler tried to save it, tried to pin it off of Sears, and he flew right into the Alabama bench in the front row of the seats. 3-point lead for the Roll Tide. Alabama by 3 will have the basketball. Just above 8 minutes left to go before halftime. Right cell. Outside to the left wing, Estrada receives it. Estrada, crossover, back out to the top, Griffin. Rylan Griffin, edge of the March Madness logo, back into the hands to Estrada. Shot clock's down to 12. Baseline here for Alabama. Handoff off the baseline. Dribble Estrada. Shovels underneath. Pringle had it stripped. Turned it over. Charleston up the floor with it. Spin move past midcourt with Khalil London. London almost bobbled it. A lot of hot tamales in these hands here for Charleston. Butler. On top he goes to Fulton. Handoff as they try to get around the screen block. Over the top they throw it down with a two-handed alley-oop jam. It's a 1-point game. 26-27. Big alley-oop jam right there for Charleston. Alabama takes the 3 straight away. Swoosh. Here we go to score it, everybody. Rylan Griffin delivers in the triple. 30-26. If you like buckets, we're going to get some right now as we approach the 7-minute mark left to go before halftime. Charleston with a ball. They lost it at the wing. They try to get it back, pin it off an Alabama player out of bounds. That was very close right there from being a turnover. 4-point game right now. Charleston lucky that they're going to get this basketball back. So we're going to take the media timeout. 7 minutes left to go before halftime. It's Alabama 30, Charleston 26. What a start to this game right now. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. What's good, Jay Ramirez? Welcome back to the stream, man. Elijah, glad to have you in. My name is on the stream. Welcome on board. Thanks for joining in. For all the new people on the channel, hit us up in the chat. Who you guys like to win this one, Alabama or Charleston? And this game is getting intense right now. Duke is leading Vermont 39-34. Purdue is leading Grambling 31-25. And Texas A&M is looking good. That's now up to 18. 18-point lead against Nebraska, 76-58 for A&M. Nebraska has never won an NCAA tournament game. I feel for those fans right there. Texas A&M, they had been horrific in the previous two tournaments for them. Barry, welcome in. Going Charleston for this one. Randy taking the roll tide for Alabama. But a really, really good game started up. Wow. So he went perfect in the bracket. He chose Western Kentucky. Yikes. What's good? Bigger than never in the stream. Welcome on board. Frankie Policelli with a monster 3 and a 30-footer for Charleston, keeping his team hanging in. And Mark Sears has 11 for Alabama. 8 by Wrightsell. Bryce Butler has 8 as well for Charleston right now. A couple guys in foul trouble, though. 2 personal fouls each between Policelli and Burnham in this game. Hey, that's awesome. So, Bigger Than Never's uncle, Pat Kelsey, that's incredible. Wow, that is awesome, man. So, here's the interesting thing, Vegas. So, I was at Stonehill today announcing a couple games for softball. They had a Bill Belichick sighting yesterday there that the guy was telling me about. Bill Belichick's daughter coaches for Holy Cross. And Bill Belichick was spotted yesterday at Stonehill for the lacrosse game. 30-26 right now. So we come back from the timeout. If you're new in the stream, smash that thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. And this is going to be a fun one here. I've done a couple games that unfortunately have been blowouts in the tournament, but hopefully these streams upcoming are going to be much, much closer down to the final possession. So here we go. Back to action. It will be Charleston who gets the inbounds. Here's a 3 taken quickly off the inbound. Missed off the front rim. No good by Policelli for Charleston as Alabama comes up with the basketball. 4-point lead for the Roll Tide. Sears up the floor. Pass over to Wrightsell. Top of the key 3. Splashes it. 33-26. They're hitting their threes right now for the Roll Tide. Policelli. Oh, nice pass down low. They kick it out to the corner. They give up an open 2 for a 3, and they bricked it off. It's a rebound, though, as they keep the possession back. Policelli. At the wing, dribbles up now, low block. Policelli sends it out top of the free throw circle. Hand off to Fulton. CJ Fulton, step back jumper, deep 2. Off the mark, no good. Rebound secure for Alabama. Grant Nelson came up with a defensive rebound. 6:15 left to go. Alabama, lob, able to snag it, but not able to jam it was Pringle. Passes out left corner. Rylan Griffin with the possession. Griffin passes off the roll down underneath. Bobble by Pringle. Shovels down low underneath. And Charleston again commits a foul. So Alabama will head to the free throw line. I believe it's on the shooting motion as well. So this should be 2 coming up here at the free throw line for Alabama. Yeah, I've got no underdog upsets yet in my bracket. I usually go heavy in the underdogs, and all of them failed me this time around. McNeese State, Drake. Drake was a crusher last night. like any of the upset teams, the 10s or the 11s, they've all failed me. Besides Oregon, the obvious right there for an 11 that they picked to win. That's the only like upset that they had was an 11/6. New Mexico really failed me. Everybody was taking New Mexico, including myself. They looked like they were red hot going into the bracket against the Clemson team that was limping. 2 games above 500 in the ACC. 1 for 2 at the free throw line for Alabama. Second one was called in a lane violation for Alabama, so this is going in Charleston's direction. Alabama makes a substitution. Number 11, Muhammad Wagway, checks back onto the floor. Nick Pringle will take a seat on the bench right now. Charleston down by 8, largest deficit. They got to get to the paint right now for them, because these threes are not dropping right now for Charleston. They need to start getting to the rim. They start to keep on taking the threes. They missed the 3 at the corner. Offensive rebound, though, for Charleston. Got it stripped out of bounds, and luckily they will keep the possession. Very lucky they're going to keep that possession right now. Inbound coming up underneath the hoop here for Charleston. Charleston in almost a 2-minute scoring drought. They got to get something going offensively. A lot of pressure they're feeling defensively here for Alabama. Charleston with the ball down low. There's a player down as the referees have to stop the time. Rain Smith got knocked down. He's down in the hardwood for a solid 5 seconds. Wrightsell is heading to the locker room right now. So Latrell Wrightsell for Alabama, as he is holding his face area, is heading towards the locker room, had to get escorted towards the locker room. Let's see what happened right here. Wrightsell and Smith got tangled up. Ooh! He got sandwiched in between! Latrell Wrightsell just took one straight to the nose as Smith of Charleston got absolutely sandwiched in between 2 players. Wrightsell was from behind and took one right to the nose. So Wrightsell is heading towards the locker room right now. Looks like he's bleeding from the nose for Wrightsell. Yeah, we see a camera right on Wrightsell heading underneath the tunnel. He is bleeding right now. Again, Charleston will get the inbound underneath. Out it goes to the corner. They'll take the 3, catch and fire. Oh, he got fouled. It's going to be 3 coming up at the free throw line. Terrible foul committed by Alabama. 3 shots coming up for Charleston, as number 2 of Charleston got chopped up. Rain Smith will shoot 3 shots. Awful foul. What are you doing going low? Chopping him down. First free throw missed. At the line, no good by Rain Smith for Charleston. Leaving points here off the board for the Cougars. Second free throw. Got it a drop. Yeah, I took Northwestern in that game. Florida Atlantic this season for me was just so confusing. They were all over the place. Oh, man. Super confusing team. I cannot comprehend how they were playing games this year for them. They have some really bad losses for them this season. Third free throw is good. So they made 2 out of 3 that trip. Included the final 2. It's a 6-point game. Alabama with the ball. Wrightsell's been a spark for them so far with 8 points, and he had to get escorted towards the locker room. Top of the key here with Grant Nelson. Sends it off to Sears. Sears leads the way with double digits so far today. Sears dribble, drives inside with the left hand off the glass. No good. Tipped up, tapped out of bounds off of Alabama. It was Muhammad Wagway who couldn't keep it alive off the rebound, and this will be Charleston basketball. Mark Sears has 11. Wrightsell's got 11 as well. So those are the top 2 scores, but Wrightsell is being checked out in the locker room currently. So that's a big blow right there for Alabama. After that, 5 points scored by Rylan Griffin, the number 3 score. They got to get other players besides Sears involved in this game in the scoring column. Top of the key here for Charleston. Looking to cut it down to a 3-possession game or a 2 if they make this opportunity. And they got stuffed at the rim. Where's this defense been for Alabama this season? Huge block by number 15, Jaron Stevenson, showing the athleticism right there. Came up with a block. Charleston looking to get the inbound. They move it out right corner. Up fake at the corner. Out to the elbow. Handoff here for the Cougars. Looking to turn the corner. Floating up a runner. Missed off the glass. Offensive rebound. Putbacks there. Ante Brzovic from Croatia. The putback's good for 2. It's a 4-point game. 34-30 right now, as Alabama attacks inside the paint, and they'll head right back to the free throw line. Charleston again picks up another foul. And if this game keeps on this trend, they're not going to have their key guys to play throughout this game for Charleston. They keep on racking up fouls. Jaron Stevenson will shoot at the free throw line. 2 shots. First one's good. 2 personal fouls each right now by Burdom, Rogers, and Smith for Charleston. Second free throw bricked off the back rim. Charleston collected the rebounds. 5-point game, 4:20 left to go. Charleston spin move, working their way inside the low post. Off the pivot, right hand hook, too strong. Offensive rebound goes to Berzavich, and he got fouled off the rebound. So reach in committed by Nelson on the floor. This will be the 6th personal foul committed by Alabama. So not yet in the bonus for Charleston. Next time they will be. What's good, Charlize on the stream? Welcome in. Greg taking Alabama for this one. Welcome in, man. Inbound here for Charleston. Charleston back their way inside the key. Hook shot inside. No good around the rim. And the follow. It is there for the 2. 3-point game right now. Good follow-up bucket there for Charleston. They lead the offensive glass 9-0. 13-0 in second chance points for Charleston. That's unheard of for this Alabama team. Mark Sears, he's the man, just keeps on torching inside the paint, scores another bucket. 13 now by Sears. He's the reason why Alabama's leading this game right now. Charleston lost the handle. They turned it over. Sears came up with a steal. Alabama with it. Outside it goes back to Sears at the left wing. Sears off the screen set by Nelson. Sears jacks up the 3. Nothing but net. He delivers, baby. Mark Sears, trifecta from downtown for the Roll Tide. 40-32. You want a walking bucky? You got one here with Mark Sears as Charleston missed the shot from point-blank range. Here goes Alabama. Lob over the top in transition. They throw it down with a right-handed flush. Aaron Estrada with an assist. Grant Nelson with a jam. It's 42-32. Charleston will take a timeout. 7-zip run just like that for Alabama in the last 45 seconds. As Alabama is on a roll right now for the Roll Tide. .304 left to go. And Alabama exploding with their offense right now. Getting high quality looks going on transition offense. Throwing down an alley-oop jam out in transition. And everything's been sparked by Mark Sears. 16 points by Sears in this game. 11 points by Wrightsell, though. He wasn't out there during that period of time, but other guys stepping up for Alabama. 5 assists right now by Aaron Estrada for Alabama to take this game over. I cover a bunch of sports in person. So this spring I've been covering lacrosse, softball, and baseball. So those are the spring sports I've been covering. Oh yeah, I did water polo too. Water polo is fascinating. So in the fall I've done football, volleyball, field hockey, soccer. Basketball is winter for winter time. And then right now in the spring we got, basically it's been lacrosse, softball, or baseball recently. I did a swim meet a couple months ago, too. So I did swimming a couple of times, which was fun to pick up. Alabama's shooting 62% right now from the floor. Yes, I like James Madison tonight. Barely any Cinderellas have... barely any of these upset picks for, like, mid-majors have gone through. But I do like James Madison in that game. Duke is leading Vermont 46-35. Purdue up at the half over Grambling 36-27. And Nebraska, just, I don't know what happened right there. Texas A&M 76, Nebraska 62. Yeah, and NC State's heating up at the right moment this season. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, or ring that notification bell if you'd like to be notified here for future live streams. Wow, we got over 100 plus watching right now. You guys, the real legends in the channel here, being a part on the stream. And Make sure to type it in the chat who you like to win this game tonight here, Alabama or Charleston. Let me know out in the chats. Feel free to join back in tomorrow. I plan on covering 2 streams tomorrow. That will be North Carolina taking on Michigan State, and then Tennessee taking on Texas for tomorrow. Alabama with all the momentum in their favor right now off that alley-oop jam by Grant Nelson, assisted by Aaron Estrada. Estrada's got 5 assists currently. Mark Sears with 16 points. 5 for 6 shooting by Sears. Perfect, 2 for 2 from 3. Yeah, I actually got Grand Canyon to win that game against St. Mary's. I'm hoping I get the right one right there, because these poor mid-majors have just been unfortunately bad in the bracket. St. Mary's is usually really good in their first round games, though. They're well coached for that team. As we get back to action here, Charleston has the ball, top of the key. Ben Barnum sends it out to the left wing. Outside, it goes over to Policelli. Deep range 3. Bricked off the back rim. A rebound secured by Estrada. Alabama by 10. They push it wide open. 3 in the corner. Nothing but net. They sink it. Number 15, Jaron Stevenson delivers in the triple. 2.5 left to go. A bright spot this hour for the SEC. Texas A&M's up by 19 over Nebraska. Alabama pulling out to their largest lead by 13. Bounce pass down low. Charleston's going to go. No good, off the mark. Tipped around. Alabama collects the defensive rebound. And Alabama with numbers up the floor here. 3-on-2. They're going to slow it down. Top of the key from the parking lot. Mark Sears pulled up for a 32-footer. Bricked off the back rim. Offensive rebound back to Alabama though. So we're down to just above 2 minutes left. Estrada at the right wing. Estrada slows it down over to Sears. Sears crossover at the top here. Sears towards his left. Dribbles. Drives. Kicks. Corner. 3. Off the mark. No good. Missed by Alabama. Knocked out of bounds. Touched by Charleston. So Alabama will keep this possession with 1:54 left to go. So much firepower right now for Alabama. 45-32. 1:54 left to go. And this is a real good sign for Alabama, because I know a lot of people were not really feeling this team late stretch of the season. They were just 2-4 their last 6 games. They gave up 103 of those games in the previous month for Alabama. But right now they're limiting Charleston to just 32 with under 2 minutes left to go before halftime, and that's a real positive sign. Charleston is top 35 in the nation in scoring. Alabama's number 1. He put up 91 points per game. But yeah, it's just another level of an offense that we see right here. Mark Sears up to 16 in the first half. Stacy, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, hopefully Grand Canyon's able to come through tonight. Grand Canyon's led by a transfer from Kansas, Tyon Grant Foster. He's the top scorer in that Grand Canyon team. Yeah, all these mid-majors having some difficulty in these games. I thought they'd be doing a much better job, but these mid-majors have not been doing so well, besides Oakland and then Yale. Wow. 52-point win. That's insane in the first round. Wow. So right now we're just on a timeout. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. If you'd like to be notified for future live streams here, I cover basketball action on the channel, play-by-play, college hoops, NBA. Yep, another classic Kentucky loss in the first round against the mid-major. You got lottery picks who lost against a D2 transfer. It's just embarrassing right there. Absolutely embarrassing for Kentucky. I have UConn, North Carolina, Houston, and Creighton for my Final Four. This game's over on TBS. Or, that's actually on True TV right now, so it's True TV that's having this game. We get back to action. Alabama down low, gets the bucket off the inbound. They make it 47-32 for the Roll Tide. Largest lead by 15. Charleston needs to get some buckets rather quickly, or this game's going to start to get ugly as Alabama picks up a reach and foul by Estrada. This is going to send C.J. Fulton to the free throw line, shooting in the 1-on-1 bonus. Yeah, Gramblin's hanging in right now against Purdue. Duke's only up by 6 with 7 minutes left. So this will be free throws at the line. 1-on-1 bonus for Charleston. First free throw is good. Right down the middle, made by Fulton. Fulton's second free throw, got it. Again, down the middle of the cylinder. 13-point game. Minute 40 left to go before halftime. Alabama with the possession. Estrada at the left wing sends it over to the top. Nelson, dribble drive, penetration to the rim. Soars up, gets fouled. And 2 free throws coming up here by Grant Nelson for Alabama. Too many fouls coming by Charleston as it'll be double bonus time here for the Roll Tide. Minute 30 left to go in the first. Yeah, just crazy with Auburn losing against Yale today. Ivy League back-to-back doing it again. First free throw missed by Nelson at the line. Yeah, there's been a really good game from Alabama today. Like, these guys have been making a much, much better job effort-wise defensively. This is a Charleston team that averages 82 points per game this season, top 35, and Alabama's offense, no match. They put up 91 per game. Free throw number 2, no good. So Nelson went empty that trip at the free throw line. Minute 30 left to go before halftime. Charleston floats up the shot, missed off the back rim, no good. On the mid-range shot to get the offensive rebound. Catch and fire 3 straight away, no good. Tipped off the glass. Crashing the glass is Estrada. Estrada up the floor, pushing tempo. Estrada Euro step to the rim. Backdoor, no good. Off the mark, tipped around. Tracking down a rebound. Who's got it? Sears. Oh, with a hustle play over to Estrada. Corner 3. Skidded off the rim, no good. And Charleston gets the rebound. That would have been something if he was able to make that. Charleston sends up an air ball, loose ball, flying all over the floor. It's Estrada who comes down with it. Estrada with all the hustle plays here. Sears attacking to the rim, and he gets clobbered and fouled. 2 free throws coming up by Mark Sears. A lot of 50-50 balls recently. This is horrific 3-point shooting by Charleston. I mean, this is their bread and butter, 3-point range team. They attempt over 33s per game, and tonight they're tossing up bricks. They're 2 for 16 in the first half. 2 free throws, Mark Sears. First one gets the bounce. Michael, what's good? Welcome to the stream. Chris in the channel, welcome on board. Second free throw is good. Walking bucket with Mark Sears. Keeps on boosting up his point total right now. He's got himself 18, the top scorer in the game. Just 2 points scored by Charleston in the last 3.5 minutes. 15 points trailing here by Charleston. 40 seconds left to go. Ball gets deflected to the backcourt. And knocked out of bounds. That's actually going to be a turnover by Charleston. It went off a Rain Smith last, so that's a Charleston turnover. This game right now is unraveling for Charleston. They're going to get something going on rather fast, and this is not a good sign. Alabama, for some of their games this year, they have been trailing in those games in the first half, and in the second half, they just pour in the points. The final, 8 minutes, they explode on their opponents, and they'll flip a 10-point deficit into a 20-point win. Right now, they get a 15-point lead with the final 30 seconds left to go before half. Really bad news for Charleston. Sears is going to slow it down. Sears with the ball. Sears dribbles up, drives right down the lane inside to the rim. He scores. Up and off the backboard. Good for 2. He's got 20. Mark Sears, 20 points in the first half of action. Timeout on the floor as Alabama will burn the timeout here. 51-34. Leading his team in the opening half here. Mark Sears, the walking bucket, 1 point shy of his season average of 21. He's got 20 on 6 for 8 shooting. He sees some serious gaps right now in this Charleston defense, and he is attacking that. 23 seconds left to go. If you're new on the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell if you'd like to be notified for future live streams here. I cover basketball action, play-by-play of college hoops and NBA streams on the channel, and we are closing in on 25,000 subs on the channel. Right before I started, we were around 55 subscribers away, so make sure to join in and subscribe over if you haven't done so already. 2 streams planned for tomorrow I got. It will be Michigan State versus North Carolina around 5 p.m., and then around the 8 p.m. hour, it will be Tennessee versus Texas. Hey, there we go. So Michael's son is out there in Alabama, too, at the Buffalo Wild Wings. Probably devastated out there, that part of Alabama there, right there. But Michael out in Idaho. Alabama well aware what happens to another SEC program a couple hours ago, losing to an Ivy League school. Not going to let it happen to a team from the CAA. Final 15 seconds left to go. Charleston has it at the right corner perimeter. Baseline dribble here for Charleston as they are stuck as we are winding time down. They got blocked off the backboard. Excellent defense for Alabama right there as the buzzer sounds and we go into halftime. 51-34 to score. Alabama, a 17-point advantage entering halftime in this matchup over Charleston. Bringing the defense right now for a team that's number 1 in the nation for Alabama in scoring. And they have finally been able to commit to the defensive side of the floor, stuffing Charleston and holding them to just 34. Alabama finished the first half in a 16-2 run. Just an absolutely just lights-out offense. Mark Sears has 20 out of the 51 going into half on 6 out of 8 shooting. I like Purdue to win that game today. Grambling is hanging in, but I do like Purdue to win that game. Right now, we're at halftime. I'll update you guys with the other games going on. Texas A&M looking solid against Nebraska. Wow, they are pounding them. So sad for Nebraska. 88-66. Texas A&M about to take on the winner of Houston versus Longwood in the second round. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Grand Canyon versus St. Mary's in round 2. So a little bit of a West Coast matchup out there. This game's taking place out in Spokane. Alabama's looking to meet up either UNC or Michigan State in that Sweet 16, and that would be one heck of a matchup if that happens there. Yeah, I picked Nebraska too. Yikes. 14-loss Texas A&M finally decides to show up for a tournament game. They didn't show up the previous 2 seasons in the first round. These dudes got the doors blown off them against Penn State last year in the same exact time slot, and then a year later they put up 90 against Nebraska. Texas A&M puts up 90 against Nebraska right now. It's 90-68. This is unheard of for a Texas A&M team that's not really known for an efficient offense. They got tough dudes in the team, though, for Texas A&M. Duke's up by 9 against Vermont, 56-47. They just made a jumper. They pull their 9-point lead up to 11, so it's 58-47. Yeah, that's awesome there, Michael. Congratulations, man, for being a grandfather there. Duke started to pull away. Duke by 11 against Vermont. 3.5 minutes left to go. That Duke-Vermont game actually tipped off later than Texas A&M against Nebraska, but Texas A&M Nebraska is over 5 minutes left. Texas A&M just dunked it home, 92-70 A&M. Yeah, I heard there's just 10 perfect brackets right now. And Purdue's up at the half over Grambling State, 36-27. Yeah. Just so tough. So difficult to for a lot of these picks. Some of them have been shocking here. I mean, these dudes from A&M, they're on a mission right now. 93-72, leading Nebraska. That's just so sad for Nebraska. This Nebraska team didn't have any NCAA tournament experience for them. They were well represented from the fans at the game, but just this matchup just overwhelmed by Texas A&M by a landslide. They're the number 2 defense in the Big Ten in fewest points allowed. They gave up 94 to A&M. That's the shocking part. Is this A&M team looks dangerous for them. Cody, what's good? Welcome on the stream, man. So yeah, A&M's about to play Houston unless Longwood can pick up that upset in the first round, but it's looking like A&M against Houston. Charleston's been bricking threes, just 2 for 15 from 3. They needed to make these in order to keep this one close, and that has not been the case today for Charleston. Just 33% shooting. Alabama's 55% shooting. That's really, really encouraging for Alabama that those numbers that Charleston is shooting are extremely low, because this Alabama defense, there was a lot of question marks going into the bracket, how they would hold up. They had got by Arkansas in the regular season finale, winning in overtime and a shootout by 4. They lost in their first SEC tournament game against Florida, gave up over 100. So yeah, there was a lot of question marks on their defense, and they have put those questions right to rest in this game so far, just overwhelming Charleston. Yeah, it's looking like it right now that Alabama's going to cover the spread for them. Charleston's going to have to make a bunch of threes coming out of halftime for them, and they just haven't been able to get into a rhythm. It's been foul trouble and missed threes for Charleston that's crushed them. I thought it would be more Alabama for them, because they've racked up a bunch of fouls this season, but they only picked up 7 in the first half, and they only have one guy that's got 2, and that's Nick Pringle. The rest of the team has 1 or 0, and then Charleston's got a lot of issues with their starters in foul trouble. So Ben Burnham has 3 personal fouls. Frankie Policelli has 2, and then Rain Smith has 2. They get some guys in foul trouble. Three of their starters with multiple fouls. More than 1 for 3 out of the 5 starters with at least 2. And Duke's looking like they're gonna win against Vermont, 60-47. Duke down to 2:15 left. Purdue's up over Grambling, 36-29 right now. We'll keep an eye on that game since we're at halftime here. As Grambling's hanging in, down by 7 for Grambling to begin the second half. Zach Edey just made 1 out of 2 free throws, so it's 37-29. But Grambling's giving Purdue a run for its money right now in this game. And we know what happened last year in the 1 versus 16 matchup with Purdue. Grambling actually won in overtime. They came back from a double-digit deficit to beat Montana State. Purdue just turned it over in their own backcourt, and Grambling can't make a 3 though. And Grambling had 2 guys crash into each other there for their own offensive rebounds. Yikes. Oh, that's a giant monster. Zach Edey just dunked it behind the entire Grambling defense. Purdue with a 10-point lead. Yeah, it's looking like possibly it could be a battle of the Connecticut teams in the TD Garden. UConn versus Yale in the Sweet 16 possibly. So Yale has to get past San Diego State. What a nightmare in this East bracket right now with some of these teams that's been picking up wins. Northwestern winning over Florida Atlantic. San Diego State, that was a given, beat UAB, and then Yale beat Auburn, so it's a 13 versus 5 in round 2. Duquesne in 11 will take on Illinois, the 3. Washington State and Iowa State. Actually should be a good game right there tomorrow. That's UConn's competition. Already Auburn's got eliminated. Illinois, Iowa State, the 2 other key conference champions. Oh no, there's a player from Vermont that just got hurt. And it happened with like a minute 18 left to go. Hey, there we go. Thanks so much for the update, Jeffrey. Yeah, it doesn't fail to shock me right there. Celtics needed to blow out the Pistons once again, and they did that. So thanks for the update there, man. So right now we're just at halftime. Thanks all for patiently waiting, being a part here to stream. If you guys enjoy the content, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell for future live streams as well. This is a big shock right here. Texas A&M is almost at 100 points. It's 98-81. Texas A&M leading Nebraska right now. Duke is up by 15 over Vermont, 62-47. Yeah, this is just sad for Nebraska. There's always like one or two teams that like get hyped up that just don't show up, and today it's happened a couple of times. Nebraska here, Texas Tech last night, New Mexico this afternoon. Those teams are clear no-shows for them. That just unfortunate. Things go real chippy. A&M and Nebraska had to get their benches separated as we got some players getting teed up on the floor between one another. 14 loss Texas A&M, about to put up 100 on Nebraska, the number 2 defense in the Big Ten. Yep, they play against Chicago tomorrow. So yeah, that should be another victory hopefully for Boston tomorrow. Yeah, it's too bad for New Mexico. 63-47. Duke's about to beat Vermont. Vermont gave Duke one heck of a run throughout the first 35. A lot of those Northeast teams do that. But just another level of basketball comparing the ACC to the America East. So yeah, SEC and Mountain West, they just did a gigantic faceplant in this tournament. SEC's trying to recreate themselves with Alabama looking solid right now. A&M's about to move on, and then Tennessee won yesterday. So there will be 3 SEC teams remaining if Alabama pulls out this one tonight, barring a miracle from the second half by Charleston. Grambling State hanging in a little bit with Purdue right now. Purdue's up by 11, 44-33. A lot of time left to go in the second half. 2 of these games are going to go final at the same time. And once we're in progress, we'll have more games tipping off later tonight. Going to be Longwood taking on Houston in a little bit. And then James Madison will be taking on Wisconsin. Potential upset. We shall see for that matchup right there. TCU taking on Utah State, and then Grand Canyon in a nightcap against St. Mary's in a good 12 versus 5 matchup. Winner of this game, Alabama and Charleston, will take on the winner of St. Mary's versus Grand Canyon. Chris taking Grambling there. He got that in the first half, plus 16. That's awesome, man. Purdue up by 13 currently, 46-33. Yeah, a lot of these teams have been slow starts for the most part, except for like this game. This has been one of the few games that there's been a slow start. Gonzaga yesterday shredded McNeese in the first half. But for the most part, those upper seeds have had close games going into halftime. Duke picks up the win over Vermont, final score 64-47 Duke. And Texas A&M picks up the win over Nebraska, final score 98-83. A&M drops down 98 in the game. And those guys for A&M, they really, really needed that. A couple of years of pain, the first round exits for A&M, and those guys picked up a big win today against Nebraska. And I mean, a long time of waiting for Nebraska. Unfortunate for those fans right there. Like, you get a feel for those fans. They've never won an NCAA tournament game ever. They're the only Power 5 school that's never won an NCAA tournament game. Let's see here. Latrell Wrightsell. Okay, so he was back on the bench at the end of the first half. I'm just going to make sure to confirm sources here. Someone tweets out that he's probable to return for Latrell Wrightsell. He took a shot to the nose area, had to get treated in the locker room, and he got his nose plugged up for him. So, yeah, this is according to an Alabama beat writer over on Twitter for the Tuscaloosa News. Latrell Wrightsell was back on the bench at the end of the first half, and he is probable to return. So Latrell Wrightsell is probable to return for the second half. So looking good there for Alabama. So he was seen. He got his nose plugged for Wrightsell. So it was like nothing significant for him. All right, 51-34, about to get ready to go back here in the second half. Blowout right now in Alabama, torching Charleston on a massive run. If you're new to the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, or ring that notification bell as well if you'd like to be notified for future live streams. Mark Sears leading his team right now. 20 total points by Sears in the first half of action. He averages 21. And this offense right now for Alabama is just completely overwhelming Charleston and what Charleston can do out there. It's been Brick City from 3, 2 for 15 from 3, 14 for 42 from the floor, held to just 33% in this game. Alabama will get the inbound. Rylan Griffin will be the inbound passer. And we see Latrell Wrightsell out there on the floor as he got his nose plugged. And we are underway for the second half of action. And Wrightsell, number 12, he is back in the game for Alabama. Aaron Estrada backing his way inside the low post. No good. Around the rim and out to rebound control by Charleston. Charleston needs to make a bunch of shots here to have any sort of comeback moment in them. Right baseline dribble by Rain Smith. He circles around inside his key. Sneaks around with a left hand. He scores up and in off the glass. What's good, Platoon in the stream? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. No problem. Glad to have you in the channel. Bounce pass off the roll down. Nelson missed off the front rim. No good. And Charleston collects the defensive rebound. 15-point game. Charleston looking to make something happen right now. Top of the key with Ben Burnham. He takes the three. Missed off the mark. No good. Offensive rebound for a moment for Charleston, and then it went off of Sears to the baseline. So this is going to stay Charleston basketball. Down to 8 perfect brackets. Wow. So a couple of those perfect brackets had Nebraska winning, and those brackets now have gotten wrecked. 15-point lead for Alabama. Charleston got the first bucket to begin the second half. Inbound here for the Cougars. At the right wing, Burnham. He dribbles up, low block. Burnham, fall away. Puts up the shot around and out. Though we get fouled. So this is going to be 2 shots here at the line for Ben Burnham for Charleston. Nick Pringle for Alabama picks up the shooting foul. And that's going to be Pringle with his 3rd right now in the game. So he's in quite a bit of deep foul trouble here. First shot. That's good at the line for Burnham. Second free throw, right down the middle. 13-point game, making things a little bit interesting here for Charleston. Up fake at the top of the key, accelerates right to the cup, try to throw down the dunk, but couldn't finish on the slam dunk right there for Alabama with a Rylan Griffin as it goes back to Charleston. The lob goes to the baseline. The baseline dribble back in his way down low. Burnham lost it, turnover. Up the floor, here goes Estrada, lob over the top behind the defense with a 2-hand alley-oop jam by Rylan Griffin. 53-38. Couple alley-oop jams in this game for the Roll Tide as Charleston has failed to get back in transition defense. Top of the key for the Cougars. Outside now to Kobe Rogers, number 11. Bounce pass goes into the hands of Brzavich. Brzavich moves it back outside off to Burnham. Burnham dribble drive inside the key. Burnham working on one defender. Burnham got tied up. Alabama, great defensive possession right there. Ties them up, but it will stay possession arrow Charleston. Yeah, it's really unfortunate for Nebraska. Like, those guys worked so hard to get to the tournament, and they still haven't ever recorded a tournament win for them. Just so sad for Nebraska. They played their worst defensive game of the season today in the tournament. That's a tough 3 that they missed offline by number 2, Rain Smith. It wasn't even close. It hit all glass as the shot clock went down. So that's a Charleston shot clock violation. George in the stream, welcome in. Actually, did the referees here call a loose ball foul in the process? Because if so, that's going to put it back to 20. And the referees are looking at this right now on the floor, whether this will be a loose ball foul picked up by Alabama as the shot clock sounded. Let's see, this ball hit completely glass. Yeah, that's all glass there. That's all glass, and then it went on the bounce. That's a shot clock violation because that basketball hits all glass. It gets tapped out, and by the time it hits the first time on the hardwood, it's in the court of play. Shot clock violation there. This should be Alabama ball. This should be Alabama basketball right there, unless the referees called a loose ball foul by Alabama with .1 on the shot clock. Yeah, I think this is going to be Charleston basketball where they're setting up for this possession, and it will be. So Charleston will get the inbound, and Nate Oates telling the officials he thought it was clearly shot clock violation. I thought so as well. Bounce pass down low. Throwing it down with a right-handed flush for Charleston. Little bit of momentum there. Ben Burnham flushes it home at the right block. They're down by 13. Alabama down low. Able to get the bucket. In response for 2 for Estrada. Aaron Estrada having an excellent game so far today for number 55 of the floor. They got 55 of the board. Jumper misfired by Charleston, and Charleston tipped it out of bounds. Estrada's up to 7 total assists in this game, by the way. Disappointing game here for Charleston with the wheels falling off in the first half in the final 6-7 minutes. Alabama up by 15 gets the inbound. Mark Sears has 20. He takes it up the floor. Sears, crossover, step back, 3 in the air, swoosh. Mark Sears, he's got 23, sizzles the 3. 58-40, a walking bucket with Sears surpassing his season average with 18 minutes left to go. Turnover. Sears out on the run out all alone. Sears gets the buckets. 60-40 for Alabama. Things getting out of control right now for Charleston. Both of the games currently going on at the moment are blowouts. Purdue up by 19 over Grambling as well. 52-33. Charleston has to burn a timeout here. It's a 20-point Roll Tide lead. 17, my clock was actually behind. 17:05 left to go. Remaining in the second right now as we take the timeout. Alright, if you guys are new to the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell if you'd like to be notified here for future live streams on the channel. And wow, this offense is exploding right now for Alabama. Mark Sears with 25. I'm looking forward to seeing what the final number is for Sears in this game, because they are destined for 100 tonight for Alabama. 51 in the first half. They got 9 in the first 2 minutes and 55 seconds right now, the second half. It's just one guy doing basically the bulk of the scoring. Like over 40% of the scoring has been through Mark Sears in this game, and Charleston just has no answer how to defend him. He's 8 for 10 shooting, 3 for 4 from 3, 6 for 6 at the free throw line. This dude is just taking over. And also, their threes are not knocking them down. They're knocking down their threes. They're 8 for 14 from 3. I mean, this game is just the big difference is the three-point shooting. Alabama's quadrupled Charleston on the threes in this game. Charleston is shooting a horrendous 2 for 17. Alabama's 8 for 14. And both of these teams attempt like frequent threes. Top 5 in the nation in three-point attempts with these two teams. It's just the difference makers that Alabama is super efficient on their threes, and Charleston, they have struggled with efficiency, and they play against teams in like a smaller conference or so in the Colonials, and they're not used to Alabama's size and length out there. And you got much bigger players on these Power 5 schools that's really making these shots difficult to get off for more so like a mid-major caliber type of player. They really did a good job here getting their reset for Alabama, because they needed a big-time reset after the SEC tournament when they gave up over 100 to Florida. And they did a good job getting – head coach Nate Oates did a great job getting these guys back in order and really keyed in on this Charleston team today. And they look super prepared, and they just look hungry and determined. 20-point lead as we come back from the timeout. Mark Sears with 25 points and 80% shooting. Charleston has the possession. 17 minutes left to go. Charleston at the left wing perimeter. The lob goes down to the low block. Ben Burnham working on a defender 101, taking on Stevenson. Burnham underneath these scores, up and off the glass, good for 2. Gonna need a lot more. You're basically gonna have to score every single possession for Charleston to have an opportunity. Plus, you're gonna have to make stops against Alabama's #1 offense in the nation, and that's not a stop right there. That's sending Mark Sears to the free throw line off the dribble drive penetration. So Mark Sears draws the contact and the foul, and he'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Alabama's done a great job staying away from foul trouble. Charleston has not in this game. It's just been Nick Pringle. He's the lone player with 3 personal fouls for Alabama. Everybody else with 1 or 0. And then for Charleston, they got some deep foul trouble issues right now. Ben Burnham with 3, 2 each by Policelli and Smith. First shot's good by Sears. Second one's good. Just an excellent all-around night here for Mark Sears. 27 points. Yesterday, Jermaine Couisnard dropped down 40 for Oregon. Sears has a real solid chance of passing Couisnard in this one today. He's 13 points away, but he's piling up the points here. Charleston will head to the free throw line. Alabama commits a foul. Andrew, welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. Things going pretty well. Yeah, Alabama's just thumping Charleston. It was close in the first 12 minutes, but the final 8 before halftime, Alabama just pulled away. First free throw by Charleston is good. Second shot coming up for Charleston, and that's right down the middle. 18-point game. 16 minutes left to go. So Alabama has possession. My clock's a little fast, so we'll wait for it to get to 16:02. Sears has that the logo. Mark Sears, top of the key, crossover, dribbles up, dish out left corner, 3 on its way. They got it right to the shoe. That's good on the 3 ball by Jaron Stevenson. Making their threes tonight for the Roll Tide. 60% from the perimeter. Stevenson's got 7. Kobe Rogers at the top. Charleston with the ball. Handoff goes over to Burnham. Burnham down low, circles around. Missed the layup at the paint, though. Alabama, with their backline defense, gets called in the shooting foul. So this is going to be 2 shots coming up here for Charleston at the free throw line after the media timeout. 15:44 left to go. We'll take the timeout on the floor right now. Alabama torching Charleston in this game, 65-44. All right, we got almost 200 on the channel right now. Let's go, everybody. If you guys are new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell if you'd like to be notified here for future live streams I cover on the channel. I cover play-by-play basketball action, the college hoops, NBA games too. I'll be back tomorrow. I plan on covering 2 streams tomorrow, Michigan State versus North Carolina, and then Texas versus Tennessee tomorrow. Since we're on this timeout, if anybody out there is interested in saving $45 on your next 3 months of YouTube TV, for your first 3 months of YouTube TV, if you're a newest subscriber from the U.S., feel free to check out my latest offer. I have the bottom right corner of the screen. At the start of the year, I recently switched over to YouTube TV so I could bring some great play-by-play coverage here to the channel. With YouTube TV, I'm able to access all the Boston Celtics streams. Being a Boston Celtics fan myself, I'm able to get access to all the local regional channels around my area that cover the Celtics. Plus, for March Madness, I'm able to have a 4-cam channel view to watch all 4 NCAA tournament games at once via YouTube TV. So, if you'd like to save $45 on your first 3 months of YouTube TV, all you have to do is click my link that I provided in the description of this video. It's also pinned to the chat. It's $15 off for signing up with my YouTube TV refer a friend link. Plus, it's $10 off each for your first 3 months of YouTube TV. All you have to do is scan the QR code for my YouTube TV refer a friend link, or you can click the link that I have pinned into the chat. YouTube TV offers more than 100 plus live channels. That includes all the March Madness TV channels, CBS, TBS, TNT, and also where this game is on, True TV. Plus, it's got a 4-cam channel view to watch all the NCAA tournament games at once on a 4-box screen for YouTube TV. It's available in the United States only. No contract or hidden fees. You can cancel anytime. A limited time offer. And all you have to do, if anybody's interested, just click my YouTube TV refer a friend link in the description of this video, pinned in the chat as well, or with a QR code, and you would save $45 on your first 3 months for new subscribers in the U.S. for YouTube TV. 21-point lead for Alabama. Under 16 left to go. Just a dominant game here. Overwhelming offense. What Alabama's done compared to Charleston. Just 2 completely just different offensive numbers right now. Alabama's shooting 57% and 60% from 3. Whereas Charleston's shooting 35% and just 12% from 3. First free throw is missed by Charleston. Second free throw is good. So 1 for 2 at the free throw line by Ben Burnham. 20-point game. Alabama has it with Sears. Sears crosses the midcourt logo. Sears, bounce pass over to the right elbow. Mohamed Diabate backs his way inside the low post, powers his way inside. He scores up and in off the backboard. 2 more for the Roll Tide. Charleston with a jumper, comes up off the mark. Here goes Alabama looking to push it. Diabate up the floor. Diabate attacking inside the paint. That's off to right cell. Right cell going backdoor, missed the layup. As Charleston comes out of the pack with a defensive rebound. So we're approaching 15 minutes left to go as this is a one-sided game in favor of Charleston. Burnham at the top, sends it over to the elbow. Nice pass backdoor. There's a layup scored by Charleston. 20-point lead, Alabama with possession. Muhammad Diabate off to his teammate. Down low off the turnaround, and that'll be a foul on the floor. So went back to Diabate, who's going to shoot 2 at the free throw line here. Yeah, thanks so much, Andrew. Really appreciate it, man. Enjoy your weekend as well. 2 shots here for Alabama at the free throw line. This will be Muhammad Diabate shooting 2 in his first season from Queens, New York. First one's good. Ben Burnham in deep foul trouble with 4 personal fouls for Charleston. Burnham's got 15, by the way. He's the top scorer. I like UNC tomorrow in that game. I think it's going to be really good tomorrow. I'll be back live tomorrow covering UNC against Michigan State for tomorrow. Also, Tennessee versus Texas, so feel free to join in if you like. 1 for 2 that trip at the free throw line for Alabama. Charleston has possession. Rain Smith sends it on top. Back over to Rain Smith at the right wing perimeter. Smith is defended by Wrightsell. Wrightsell left in the mid-stage of the first half. Came back in the second half with a plugged nose. Absolute warrior out there on the floor for the Roll Tide. Leaner inside as Charleston will head to the free throw line. So this will be 2 shots coming up here for the Cougars. Number 11, Kobe Rogers will shoot 2. Jarek on the stream, welcome in. First shots. Bounced in. That's good on the first free throw. Yeah, I'm looking at Charleston's numbers offensively, and they don't really have any players that can overwhelm you with the scoring. So it's kind of similar numbers to what South Carolina had for a team when they streamed them yesterday against Oregon. There's just no player that can take over the game scoring-wise for this type of team, whereas Alabama has a dude by the name of Mark Sears that just takes over just like that. Strong dribble drive right to the cup. Guess who it is? It's Mark Sears who scores with a layup. 70-49 right now. This game is a total annihilation. Charleston just got a bucket down low. Really, really good sign for Alabama, too, because, I mean, they've been struggling terribly with their interior defense. They get a layup made off the spin cycle down low with Estrada. Aaron Estrada just 4 points today, but he's been playmaking all over the floor in this game. Mid-range, off the back rim, no good. Missed by Charleston. Rebound for a brief moment by Alabama, and Charleston picks up the loose ball foul. So this will be Alabama ball up by 21. Purdue, by the way, leads Grambling 63-43 right now. Aaron Estrada tonight has 7 total assists. 4, 7, and 7 is his numbers for points, rebounds, and assists right now in this game. Doing all the little things on the floor for Aaron Estrada. Leading rebounder, leading playmaker in this game currently. Jimmy, welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. This is looking like a tough one right now for Charleston. 13.5 left. Estrada dribbles towards his right. Sends it off to Wrightsell. A catch and fire 3. Launches, and he hits it. Latrell Wrightsell, welcome back as he buries the triple. 75 on the board with over 13 minutes left for the Roll Tide. Up fake at the free throw circle. Outside it goes to the wing, and Charleston finally makes the 3. Number 2 buries the triple with Rain Smith. If they made a bunch of those earlier, then this will be a ball game right now. But Charleston shooting just 16% from 3, 3 for 19 in this game. Winner of this game will get either St. Mary's or Grand Canyon, the 5v12 winner in the first round. We'll be playing them in the second round in Spokane. Looking like Alabama's on their way to doing so. Just above 13 minutes left, up by 21. And usually they're down during this stage of the game, and then they come from behind and win in the final 12 minutes. Instead, they're up by 21 instead of trailing by 15. Step back three. Sears got denied. That's the best defensive possession we've seen all game by Charleston. Frankie Policelli just denied Mark Sears in a step back three. So Alabama will get the inbound, 16 on the shot clock. Teresa Kimberly, welcome in. Sears inbounds it off to right cell. Right cell. Takes the three straight away. Makes the three from downtown. Bang, bang by Latrell. Right cell. 24-point lead. He's got 17 plus. He missed some time in the first half. Had to go to the locker room as he dealt with a nose injury. Had to get his nose plugged as it was bleeding. But he came back into the game and impressive. He's got 17. Missed shot down low by Charleston, but they dunk it off the putback slam. 22-point advantage. Alabama with possession. Sears moves it out to the wing. The three bricked off the back rim. No good by Sam Walters. But Walters got fouled. And if this is on the shooting motion, he's going to shoot three. I think this appeared to be on a shooting motion right there. So this is going to be 3 shots coming up at the free throw line for Alabama. 12:18 left. First free throw, no good. Around the rim and out. Second shot, that is good. He'll have a third coming up here. Chance to put 80 on the board for Alabama with Sam Walters. They're starting to get their bench guys some minutes. Joe, welcome in. Thanks for joining in, man. This is super impressive how they played defense today. Like, all these guys committed to the defensive side of the ball, finally, for Alabama. This is a very dangerous team if they can do this consistently. Second free throw was good, and then the third one just dropped down. So 2 out of 3 made at the free throw line by number 24, Sam Walters, to put the lead 80-56 right now. Charleston has it off the lob, and they throw it down. That's an alley-oop jam right there by number 23, James Scott, for the Cougars. Probably one of the best possessions we've seen all game for the Cougars here. Step back three, Estrada takes one, missed off the front rim. As Charleston collects the defensive rebound up the floor, past midcourt, Butler. Moves it off to the wing, back to Butler, top of the three. Butler dribbles up now inside to keep Butler off the pivot, works on the right cell, swings it out right wing off the jab step, Fulton. Shot clock goes down to 12 here for Charleston. Fulton dribbles up, floats it up over the top, looking for an alley-oop opportunity. Got deflected out of bounds as it went off of Grant Nelson. Good defense right there by Nelson, though, to stay with his man off the roller. Down low to the rim. Yeah, Texas A&M picked up a big win against Nebraska. We're going to take a timeout on the floor right now. 11:24 left to go. Alabama destroying Charleston 80-58. Yeah, no problem, Bryce. Feel free to stop by whenever you can. I'll be out for the afternoon for tomorrow. I'm actually gonna. I was supposed to cover 2 games in person for tomorrow. They got pushed up to today, so that's where I was today. I was announcing 2 games in person. Tomorrow I'm gonna go to an open house for the first time and see how that goes. Since my girlfriend's going to be over during the afternoon, because we're trying to see if we can get something, hopefully within like the next few months, for like our first house together or so. What's good, Darrell in the stream? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. And I'm from Massachusetts, by the way. I cover all different types of teams. So if you guys are new, first timers on the channel, newcomers here, my college team's actually Providence that I root for, and my NBA team that I'm a fan of is the Celtics. But I cover all different types of teams here. College hoops, NBA. Tomorrow I do plan on streaming 2 games, Michigan State versus North Carolina. I think that's around 5 p.m. tomorrow, and then around 8 p.m. is Texas versus Tennessee for tomorrow. Should be two really good games right there. They haven't released the schedule out for Sunday, so I'll have to see what I can do or so. But probably more of like the bigger schools. Whoever will be in the second round on Sunday. I feel like Houston versus A&M is going to be a really good game. That should be a really, really good one. Like a physical, tough matchup there. So I'm probably leaning towards that being one of the Sunday streams for me. Alabama's going to take on more so a smaller school for them. It's either going to be St. Mary's or Grand Canyon. So they'll get a mid-major in the second round. Purdue's going to take on either TCU or Utah State. Duke won. So Duke's going to take on Wisconsin or James Madison. So yeah, there's a lot still to be sorted out currently as we get this game going on. Purdue is playing their game right now. And the other games aren't going to tip off until a couple minutes from now. We're going to have the late night window right now. So Longwood against Houston will tip off in any minute. James Madison will tip off against Wisconsin in any minute. And then TCU against Utah State will tip off within the next 8 minutes. So you got 3 games tipping off within the next 8 to 10 minutes between Houston and Longwood, James Madison and Wisconsin, and TCU Utah State. So that's the late night window as there's 3 games that's going to be tipping off real soon. This St. Mary's Grand Canyon game ain't going to be tipping off until 11 o'clock tonight, probably. Based on all the falls in this game, we got 80 to 58, plus there's 11:20 left to play. As we get back to action, yeah, that game's finishing up at 2 in the morning between Grand Canyon and St. Mary's, I bet you. Here's a 3 straight away. Off the mark, no good. Missed by Charleston. Alabama gets called in a loose ball foul, though. Eric, welcome in. Yeah, Celtics doing real well. They only won by 3, though, against the Bucks on Wednesday. Crushed the Pistons twice this week, which that should happen because, I mean, it's the top team playing against the worst team in the league. Houston and Longwood, by the way, just tipped off. And Charleston missed the front end of the 1-and-1 in the bonus. So it goes back to Alabama. 11 made threes by Alabama, just 3 by Charleston in this entire game. Right cell sends it off to Walters. Walters powers his way inside the low post. Walters goes up and he gets fouled. So he'll have 2 at the free throw line. Purdue is crushing Grambling 74 to 48. Houston just tipped off against Longwood. James Madison will tip off in about a minute against Wisconsin. First free throw is good by Walters at the line. Second shot coming up by Walters, and that bounces in too. Total annihilation here in this one right now. 7 falls by Alabama, 5 by Charleston at the moment. Charleston has the possession, top of the key. James Scott, number 23, now on the floor, sends it off to the wing. The ball gets moved over to Burnham. Burnham down low, playing with 4 fouls at the moment as he goes off the turnaround, came up rim short, tipped up, and Alabama collects the rebound. Down the far side of the floor, pass ahead over to Walters, soars up, and he throws it down with a 2-handed flush. Oh, baby. Bringing the explosiveness on the floor today. What a blowout here. Charleston with it. Not even midway through this second half. 3-point shot straight away. They got one. Sears still on the floor. He's the top scorer with 27 at the moment. Outside it goes to the wing. Back over to Sears, top of the key. Sears, step back three in the air. Around and no good. Offensive rebound. Putbacks there. Alabama has it up and off the glass. Mohamed Wage for two. 86-61. Sears got 29, my correction there. So 29 points on 9 for 13 shooting tonight from the floor. Charleston no good. That's such a tough shot that they were falling away. Here they go. For Alabama up the floor, attacking inside, downhill to the rim. They scored a layup. Back-to-back by Mohamed Wage right now. 88-61. Still with 9 minutes above remaining in this game, and Charleston will take a timeout. What a blowout. Alabama doing their job in this track meet. Charleston, not so much right now. We're down to 9:16 remaining. Yeah, so coming into this game, it was expected to be one of those games. First to 100. For Charleston, though, I mean, you gotta find your rhythm and find your shots, and that's just not happening tonight. There's just too much size and length in this Alabama team that it's really affecting these Charleston guys. Just, it's a different physical level of basketball what Alabama's play. They have taken it up a big-time notch defensively. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell if you'd like to be notified here for future live streams on the channel as well. Houston leads Longwood 7-0 right now, and James Madison up early against Wisconsin 5-2. Absolute blowout indeed. Charleston with possession. As we're down to 9 minutes left to go here. Here's a three-point shot taken by C.J. Fulton, skidded off the front rim, no good. And it goes out of bounds off of Charleston. Really tough game here for Charleston. A lot of these mid-majors getting sent home packing early. But the Ivies keep on outlasting. In the first round, the Ivy League team pulled off an upset now, back-to-back years in the tournament. Jab step, Mohamed Diabate moves it off to the cutter. Estrada gets the layup. That was a nice cut right there, straight line to the hoop. Aaron Estrada been excellent in this game, especially from the playmaking standpoint. 90 on the board for Alabama. Kick out, quarter, open three, and Charleston buries one. If they made a bunch of those early on, this would be a much better game. Kobe Rogers sizzled down the three. Sears weaves his way inside the paint. He's looking for 30. Instead, dumps it off underneath with a two-handed throwdown. Dunk scored by Mohamed Wage. 8 minutes left to go. They got 92. Charleston with the ball. Some contact around the perimeter as number 12 of Charleston, C.J. Fulton, got bumped into by Wage there around the perimeter. He picks up the foul. So this is going to be bonus time for Charleston at the free throw line. Yeah, based on the rate of this game right now, that St. Mary's Grand Canyon game ain't going to be playing anytime soon. It's going to tip off probably around 11 o'clock tonight based on how late this game has gone. .802 left. 1-1 bonus for Charleston, and they bricked it. No good at the free throw line. Alabama came up with the rebounds. Mark Sears looking for 30, accelerates, kick out to the corner, open three in the air. They got it. Bang, bang. That's Aaron Estrada who buries down the three. What a blowout. Estrada's got 9 tonight. Thought about the step back for Charleston. Deflected out of bounds by Alabama. All Alabama by a landslide. Mark Sears with a skip pass off to Estrada. Catch and fire three from the quarter. Nothing but net. 95-64 as we have a timeout. We still got 7:36 left to play right now. Super, super dangerous Alabama team. Or did they play this super easy cupcake in Charleston that took a Stony Brook team to overtime in the conference championship? That's what we have. That's what we'll be figuring out. But either way, they're going to be playing a much better defensive team in their next game. More so an unknown to them because it's either going to be Grand Canyon or St. Mary's in that matchup. St. Mary's is a top 5 team in defense. They're also like one of the slowest tempo offenses in the nation for them. Grand Canyon, those guys play super hard for Grand Canyon. And they try to wear you down and get you into foul trouble and attack the paint. 29 by Mark Sears. Wrightsell has 17. Alabama's got 10 different scores in this game today. Their bench has been loaded in scoring. It's now 10, 17, 22, 28. They got 28 bench points by Alabama compared to 16 by Charleston. And Charleston, once they got guys getting into deep foul trouble, it's just never been the same. That's where the game got taken just out of their hands. Like, this was a close and competitive game for the first 12 minutes, but after that, it just came crashing down in Charleston. Yeah, I would go TCU there based on the Mountain West. I took TCU in my bracket. Mountain West teams have had a lot of trouble this time around in the tournament. Utah State was one of the luckiest teams alongside South Carolina this year. Like, Utah State won a bunch of games by single digits for them. Like, 1 and 2 possession games. If you're doing a stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell if you'd like to be notified here for future live streams I cover on the channel. And wow, there's been a big stream today, over 200 plus watching. Really appreciate you guys for being a part here, taking out the time to join on this stream today as we're nearing 25,000 subscribers. When I started off the stream, we were around 45 subscribers away from reaching the 25K mark, so make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Good start for Houston. Houston leads Longwood 10-2. James Madison out to an excellent start, leading Wisconsin 9-2. And Wisconsin just 2 points in the first 5 minutes and 15 seconds in that game. Right there. I've never tried surfing before. Yeah, I've never tried it before. Yeah. Definitely something to look into sometime. Yeah, thanks so much for Life with Darrell. Appreciate it here for finding the stream. First free throw missed at the line by Charleston. Second one, they got 30-point lead for Alabama. Mark Sears, walking bucket for him with 29 points. Estrada at the left wing, dribbles towards the left corner. Estrada thinking about dribbling baseline, keeps the dribble alive over to Diabate. Diabate had it scooped loose, stole away. Charleston comes out with a steal here, and Charleston out of the pack turns it over. They couldn't keep it out in front. A transition play, they had an opportunity, and they couldn't convert. Five more points to 100 with 7 minutes left. Estrada will take it up this time. He's got 8 assists, 7 rebounds, 9 points. He's flirting with a triple-double if he's able to get that tonight. Estrada inside the key. Estrada looking for double digits. Missed off the glass. No good, though. Rebound secured for Charleston. Charleston galloping up the floor, driving inside the paint, and they score with a right-hand layup made by Kobe Rogers. Wrightsell. It's been excellent as well. Bounce pass off to His teammate, Estrada, back off to right, so Estrada has in the corner. Estrada here, if he makes one, will get up to double-digit scoring. Estrada off the pivot, inside. He's got it. +1 coming up with a free throw line for Aaron Estrada. Back to a 30-point lead with 6:17 left. Estrada now with 11, 7, and 8 tonight with points, rebounds, and assists. (10-2) is the score for these two games. Houston leads Longwood 10-2. James Madison leads Wisconsin 10-2. Wisconsin just 2 points in the first 5.5 minutes so far. Missed free throw by Estrada, but it pinwheels right back over to him. And Alabama committed a turnover around the perimeter, so this will head back to Charleston for the basketball. Mark Sears on the bench right now alongside Grant Nelson. This game is well in reach at this point here for Alabama. And Charleston's going to have most of their bench guys check in too. So, I'm trying to see who's out here. They keep on flipping the cameras around. First free throw is good by Charleston. That was a loose ball foul picked up to Alabama. So Charleston now is in the double bonus. Alabama next time around will be in the bonus for them. Charleston's got 6. 97-69, just above 6 minutes left. So Estrada is still out there. They get 24 on the floor with Sam Walters, 3 Rylan Griffin, 11 Muhammad Wagi, and Muhammad Diabate. So they got 2 Muhammads out there, 10 and 11 for Alabama. Turnover by Alabama off the dribble drive. Charleston. Rain Smith on the floor. Number 1, Frankie Policelli. Here's a backdoor lob thrown down with a two-handed alley-oop jam for Charleston. They got a couple of those today in this game. That's James Scott, number 23, just threw down that backdoor lob. Corner jumper swoosh for Alabama. Some more bench points coming from number 24, Sam Walters. That is 100, by the way, the board. Kind of looks funky on the Turner True TV scoreboard because they're probably not used to college teams scoring 100. So if you're watching on TV, it kind of looks like it's like a stretched out 100 that they have right now. 100 on the board for Alabama. I got 71. We'll check that once we get to the timeout. I got 71 right now on the board for Charleston here. So we take a timeout, 100-71. 4 perfect brackets left. We'll see if James Madison will be wrecking some more brackets. 15-4. Yeah, I could feel it with Wisconsin. Wisconsin came in limping to the Big Ten tournament 3-8. I think that tournament, the Big Ten teams who make it to the championship game are cursed. We've seen it time and time every single year. The Big Ten champion and runner-up has been eliminated. At most, they got into the Sweet 16. But most of the teams, they got bounced out in the first rounds. I'll do a rundown here. It was Ohio State who was runner-up in the Big Ten in 2021. Lost to Oral Roberts. Illinois with Ayo DeSumo was the champion in 2021. Lost against Loyola Chicago in round 2. The following year, 2022, Iowa was the champion with Keegan Murray. They lost to Richmond as a 5 seed for Iowa versus the 12 in the first round. And then Purdue was the runner-up against Iowa, lost against St. Peter's, the 15 in the Sweet 16. Last year, Penn State was the runner-up, lost against Texas, which was expected in the second round. And then the champion, Purdue, out of the Big Ten, lost against you-know-who, FDU. In the 1 versus 16 matchup a year ago. 100-71. Alabama put it in the triple digits in this game. Charleston makes the 3. 174. That's Rogers who made the 3, number 11. Mark Sears is still on the court right now. Sears has got 29 points and 9 for 13 shooting. Sears, dribble drive, down low, got it blocked, and then he got it back and went up, got fouled. So 2 free throws coming up here by Sears at the free throw line. 4:51 left. 15-4, James Madison leading Wisconsin in the first 7.5 minutes. Houston up over Longwood, 13-2. Mark Sears looking for 30 if he makes this one. First free throw, right down the middle. He's got 30. 10th 100-point game this season. That's most by an SEC team since 1989-1990 with LSU in the 89-90 season. Second free throw around the rim and out, missed by Sears. Charleston attacking to the rim, missed the layup, tipped off the glass, no good. A rebound secure by Alabama. They gave it away, though, in the corner. Corner 3 open, Charleston bricked it. Off the back rim, tipped up for the offensive rebound. Another corner 3, Rogers connects on it. 101-77, down to 4.5 left. Alabama can just slow it down. They reached triple digits for the 11th time this year. Sears slows down tempo, 20 the shot clock. Now he attacks, and Sears gets fouled. That's a reach-in picked up by Charleston, and Alabama will head back to the bonus with Sears. Yeah, this game is just well in check right now. I mean, Sears has got 30. I think by this time you want to get your bench out here and rolling, get them some opportunity if you're Alabama. You get this game well held in check right now. Sears missed the free throw off the back rim. Rebound secure by Charleston. Charleston drives, attacks, dribble drive inside. They lost it and was pushed from behind. And there's a player who's down in some pain. Number 11 holding on to his left knee for Charleston. That's Kobe Rogers, who went right into the stanchion, and he is down right now, and he called immediately for medical attention. So Kobe Rogers is down. The athletic trainer has to come out on the court right now and attend to him, as this is going to take some more time off the clock. Prayers to that man right there. Kobe Rogers, number 11 for Charleston, is down right now. Just devastating. Absolutely devastating. Yup, Oakland, a big Cinderella. What a story. A Division II transfer with Jack Golke going up against a couple of lottery picks for Kentucky. And Oakland, the mid-major, beats Kentucky with the NBA draft picks. 101-77. We're going to take a timeout here for an injury timeout, attending to number 11, Kobe Rogers. Yeah, that's not a good sign. He immediately called for attention, for medical attention. Looked pretty bad with his left knee when he went down. He came crashing down right next to the stanchion. You don't need this. I mean, in a game right now that Alabama is going to be moving on to the next round. I mean, this game has been done for a while now, and just injuries are just the worst thing possible that could happen when you're down by this many points. James Madison up by 10, 15-5 against Wisconsin. Houston leading by 10, 14-4 against Longwood. If you're new in the stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Make sure to ring the notification bell if you'd like to be notified here for future live streams. Really appreciate you guys for joining in and being a part on the channel here as we're making a push towards 25,000 subscribers here. on the channel. I cover basketball games play-by-play, both college hoops and also NBA. My favorite college team is Providence. I'm like 20 minutes away from Providence. I'm from Massachusetts. I'm about an hour south of Boston. Big Celtics fan myself. But I cover all different types of teams here, college hoops and NBA. So tomorrow's streams will be Michigan State against UNC at 5:30, and then Texas against Tennessee is at 8. So it's those games tomorrow I plan on covering. Devastating right there for that young man, Kobe Rogers, who went down due to injury. Now on the bench currently. We're down to 4:07 left to go. Free throws for Charleston. First one is made. This is James Scott who made the first one at the free throw line. It's kind of tough jerseys to tell the numbers for covering this team. Like, I've been streaming games for over 5 years on the channel. This has to be one of the toughest teams in terms of jerseys that I've covered, because Charleston wears black uniforms, but the numbers are like dark maroon for them. It's very tough to see far away in the screen, like from that regular camera angle that they have for game coverage. It's like a black uniform with maroon with a yellow outline. So, kind of like blurs, the yellow outline just blurs into each other or so because it's thinner numbers for them. It's kind of like a poor color choice or so, because you usually have like a dark uniform and then like the numbers like usually like a light color, so it's not like blending into the uniform. 102-78 right now. Under 4 minutes left to play. This game's dragged on. Grand Canyon against St. Mary's. Whoever wins that game will face Alabama in round 2. That game probably won't tip off until after 11 p.m. between Grand Canyon and St. Mary's. Won't be over until probably 1:32 in the morning. Alabama's going to have some substitutions right now. Nick Pringle checks out. Rylan Griffin checks out. Estrada's back in. Mohamed Diabate will take it up the floor. Final 3.5 minutes left to go here. Jaron Stevenson off to Estrada. Estrada dribbles up at the mid-block. Estrada circles around inside a key with a left hand. Scoop score up and in off the backboard. 104-78. Aaron Estrada up to 13 points today. Just no match in this game for the Charleston offense to go up against Alabama. Alabama averages 91 points per game this season. Charleston averages around 82. Top 35 for Charleston. Alabama number 1 in the nation this year, and just way too explosive. Big boy basketball of a Power 5 school going up against the CAA team is just too strong for Alabama. They're just a machine offensively. Charleston back to the free throw line. 2 shots. First one no good. And both of these teams are also in the double bonus right now. This game is dragged on. Alabama's white, so they're white uniforms, red numbers, red letters for them, for the Crimson or so. Three minutes left to play. Alabama has possession. Estrada backs his way, a low block, works on number 4, Bryce Butler. Estrada underneath off the pivot, kick out, right corner, lacing up a 3, Stevenson. No good, bricked off the back rim. And Charleston secures the defensive rebound. Ben Burnham up the court. Back on top, handoff from Burnham to his teammates as Khalil London floats it out to the wing. Charleston takes the 3 and they bury it. It's number 2, Rain Smith. So 104.82 right now. Hey, I'll see you back tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining in, Alex. Here's a deep range three by Charleston. They bricked it off the back iron. Got a foul here quickly off the rebound. Picked up by Alabama on the floor. So it's going to stop the clock again. 2:17 left. It's been multiple fouls in this game tonight. 20 by Alabama. And also 20 by Charleston. Usually the typical SEC game is like 45 to 50 fouls for the most part. First shot's good. At the line for Alabama. Or they'll have players checking in here. Charleston got the free throw. It's 104.83. And Estrada now will check out. He had a really good night tonight for him. 13 by Estrada with 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Led the team in rebounds and assists tonight. Second free throw, good by Charleston. Went down by James Scott. The two of them made it. 20-point game here. 2:17 left. Couple bench players on the floor right now for Alabama at the moment. Number 32, Kai Spears on the floor. Missed shot down low by Diabate. Down to 2 minutes left to go. Outlet pass here for Charleston as they blew the wide open layup. Couldn't keep track of the basketball as it sailed out of bounds. Lost it at the baseline. $20-point lead, under 2 left to play. Just a clinic here offensively in this game. Diabate down low off the double clutch. Draws the foul. And this will be 2 shots to the line. So 1:44 left, and they'll head back to the free throw line, shoot 2, and Mohamed Diabate. James Madison up against Wisconsin. 19-12 James Madison. And Houston leading Longwood 17-9. First free throw missed by Alabama. Second shot here spirals in. 105 on the board with 1:44 remaining. 11 games this season, they've scored 100 plus for Alabama. Charleston jacks up a 3, swoosh. If they made a bunch of those early on, this would be a much better game. Frankie Pulicelli delivered on the 3. He's got 13. Sears, the top scorer today, with 30 for Mark Sears. 9 for 13 shooting, 3 for 6 from 3. 9 for 11 at the free throw line with 5 assists for Mark Sears. 17 by Latrell Wrightsell, 13 by Aaron Estrada. The bench went off too. Alabama missed the shot down low. Charleston chance to put up 90 if they make the shot here. They take it. It comes up short. It's an air ball as we are down to the final minute left to go. Charleston came up with a steal from behind. They scored a layup. 105-89 now in the final minutes. Max Skarnowski, he will take the distance. Number 31, the senior from Elgin, Illinois, only averaging 0.5 points per game. Takes the distance up the floor, lays it up and in for the Roll Tide. Charleston bricked the 3. That was the story of the game today. Their 3s just weren't able to convert. Offensive rebound, Charleston. These guys still playing hard for Alabama. Alabama commits a foul with 35.9 seconds left. These guys still playing hard even though they're up by miles on this Charleston squad. Big difference maker in today's game. Alabama 60% shooting. Charleston 41%. Alabama made 13 threes, 56.5% from the perimeter at 13 for 23. Charleston frequent attempting three team just like Alabama, but not much efficiency. 9 for 32 at 28% from the perimeter. Alabama doubled Charleston on three-point shooting percentage in this game. The free throws are good, both of them for Charleston to eclipse 90. They eclipsed 90, but Alabama eclipsed 100. And the offense is so strong for Alabama, overwhelming Charleston in this game. Alabama will be the third remaining SEC team left in the bracket. It was a tough day, tough first round for most of these SEC teams, but late surges by Texas A&M picking up a big victory over Nebraska, and now Alabama put it up 107 on the board against Charleston. Going to advance Alabama over to round 2 to take on the winner of GCU, Grand Canyon, or St. Mary's. 18.6 seconds left. Alabama just committed another foul, so this will send Charleston to the line. First free throw is good. The points pouring off the scoreboard in this one. Second free throw right down the middle. 107-93. A low-end NBA-type score in this matchup here as Alabama comes up with the inbounds. 200 points combined as it hits the over for this matchup by far. In today's game with 13.9 seconds left, and there'll be more free throws as Alabama will shoot free throws here. Kai Spears at the free throw line for Alabama. The over-under was 172.5. The over, oh man, the over is so much over tonight. Just crushed it, 201 on the first made free throw. Second shot, right down the middle. 109 on the board for Alabama. Final 12 seconds left. Charleston crosses midcourt. Charleston with 5. And they take a fadeaway 3. They make it with .4. 109-96. In terms of recent memory, this is the largest scoring game that I can remember in a long time in an NCAA tournament game. This game goes final. Earlier today, we had a 102-100 final score with Colorado beating Florida. Today, this one even higher right here. 109, that's the most points by Alabama in an NCAA tournament game in program history. They dropped out of 109 to win over Charleston in a shootout. 109-96, the final score, and Alabama will take on the winner of St. Mary's or Grand Canyon in their second round of 32 matchup. Thanks so much, y'all, for joining in, being a part on the stream for this one tonight. Before I do sign off, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell for future live streams as well here. Mark Sears dropped down 30. The top scorer in this game went to Sears. How about this for a stat? Charleston put 6 players in double figures, yet they lost by 13. It's just crazy. That's because of how overwhelming Alabama's offense happened to be against Charleston in this game. Alabama, the number 1 team in the nation in scoring, shoots the ball 60% from the floor, 36 for 60. They made 13 threes at 56.5% from three-point range. They missed 13 free throws. They went just 65% at the free throw line, at 24 for 37 at the free throw line, but still put up 109 on the board as Alabama beats Charleston. The final score 109-96. Thanks all for joining in, being a part in the stream for this one tonight. As the Roll Tide move on, we'll take on a winner of GCU versus SMC. For SMC in the next matchup, St. Mary's or Grand Canyon University. And we will close out to the channel members. All channel members get a shout out at the end of each and every single one of my live streams here. We have Jason, Warren, Rajib, I Am Ghost, Russell, John, Mark, Kelly, Jeffrey, Vegas, Oink Oink, Michael, Katie, Bradley, Daniel, Derek, Sister Surround, Mario, Guido, SG Sports Talk, Ice Baby, Robin, and Melinda. Thanks all for joining in and being a part of the stream for this game here as we wrap up Alabama 109, Charleston 96 as this game goes final. And enjoy the rest of your Friday night, everybody.